Shaw said we had a win with an open door. Guess we looked out. Do you copy that? And you'd rather be in a combat.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Sam Redgate-Large channel. Welcome back to you all. And there's been some big news, hasn't there? There's been some big news since I was last live on the Sam Redgate-Large channel. And it's not that Fraser went to see Sunderland last night, but evening to you, Fraser and Wiki. And we've had Dragon in, and we've also had Cameron in as well. So afternoon to you all. But the big news is Chelsea's takeover has been confirmed. So just like I said last weekend, there's no need to worry about it. There is no need to worry about it. And it has been confirmed. And the consortium led by Todd Bowley is, I believe, how you pronounce his name. Do correct me if I'm wrong on that one. I've only seen it written down. But it's very, very important that we've got it done, and we have done now. And that is the important part. And now we can look to the future. And hopefully that knowledge of where they're going to be come September, August time, knowing that they've got a club, that they've got somewhere to go, and that Chelsea aren't going to have any problems over the summer. Hopefully that will just settle down this Chelsea side, because maybe that's been starting to play a factor. Maybe it has been, but they can start to settle down now. And this takeover saga was longer than the Cell Cell saga in Dragon Ball Z. You're out of my touch there. You're out of my league there, Wiki. But I'm sure it was. But it's taken a while. We've got there, and this is the first game, I guess, under semi-new ownership. Of course, there's still plenty of things to be finalised and sorted. But this is the first game of the new era, and when we get to the lineups, you'll see that there is a bit of a change in that sense. Fraser says Nottingham Forest has dropped down to 4th. Did they draw today? I was looking, because I've just had my hair cut. I don't know if you can tell. Nice little fresh trim. But I was looking, obviously, intrigued about Huddersfield. Wow, sorry. Getting distracted again. Benfica versus Porto tonight. But I didn't see. Hull. Hull coming up big. 2 late goals in that game. Jeez. Absolutely madness. And Sheffield United won as well. 4-0 against Fulham. Jeez, man, they weren't holding back. But that's enough championship talk. We've had enough championship talk, haven't we? For a lifetime, and we'll look forward to the playoffs. Both legs of the semi-final, of course, and that playoff final as well. Hopefully Huddersfield can get there. I want to eye up some tickets as well, try get myself there. And of course, I am at the FA Cup final next weekend, which is going to be so exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. But like I say, let's talk Chelsea. What have we got today? Today, as you can see on your screens in a second, these are the lineups. And have a sinking feeling that game is going to be stinky, as in today's game of the final. Which one are you meaning? I'm assuming you mean in the final. But it doesn't tend to be with Chelsea and Liverpool, so I'm not too sure. But as you can see, this maybe has maybe a little bit of the fact that Chelsea are going to play again on Wednesday against Leeds United. But it does seem to have a few changes in mind with the projection of, potentially that game against Leeds, and of course that game against Liverpool next weekend. Chelsea's only opportunity now at some, other than the Club World Cup, at some silverware. And as you can see, there are a few key changes, more so in the attacking areas than anywhere else, with Eduard Mendy, as always, retaining that spot in goal. Antonio Rudiger, Thiago Silva and Cesar Azpilicueta are the 3 at the back. So Chelsea probably with their strongest 3 centre-halves all playing today. Definitely the strongest 3 centre-halves playing today. And then the wing-backs starting to look a little bit more familiar once again, with Reece James at right wing-back and Marcus Alonso at left-back. And then, of course, in midfield, there's been a couple of changes here all season, hasn't there, with the rotation that Ruben Loftus-Cheek is starting to offer. And Ruben Loftus-Cheek does start today alongside Mateo Kovacic. I'm a little bit concerned about the defensive know-how of that midfield too. But, there is 5 defenders on the field in theory, so we should be okay. We should be okay, but just a little bit concerned at that, and I'm flagging that right now. And then this is where the big changes are coming. So no top goal scorer in Mason Mount today. He looks like he's been replaced by Christian Pulisic. And then, of course, no second top goal scorer in Kai Havertz as Romelu Lukaku does come back in. And, of course, Timo Werner, who's been going through a nice little patch at the moment. A nice little patch is starting and retaining that position. But interestingly, Romelu Lukaku manages to get himself back on the team sheet for today. Could be a really, really important game. I know Thomas Tuchel was very, very vocal about Romelu Lukaku and saying he believes he still has a place in this team and that he thinks he wants him to be a vital, important part of the team. But we're yet to see it. We're yet to see it at this current moment in time. Wiki says you could get pammed in that final. City got that sweet Caroline from Liverpool in the last round. Whew, yeah, we could get absolutely battered. We could do, but only time will tell. Only time will tell. And it also depends on who is fit and who isn't when it comes to that final. And as you can see on the bench then, Chelsea, like I say, look like they've made a few changes. This has been the criticism, though, of Thomas Tuchel all season, changing it when changes aren't really needed. And again, it's a very unpredictable Chelsea side, which does always frustrate me. It always frustrates me, not being able to tell you which players are going to start where, and not even knowing, who your best centre halves are. It looks like he's got it. I think he's got it right for today, but who knows? Who knows? Look at the bench. Trevor Chalobah on the bench. Andreas Christensen, Malang Sarr. We've not seen Trevor Chalobah for a little while, I don't think. Mason Mount, Ross Barkley, Saul. Saul definitely one of the worst loan moves we've seen in a long, long time. Kai Havertz and of course Hakim Ziyech. So Chelsea do have a lot of quality on that bench if they want to bring it on, and they definitely sit as the favourites in terms of the league standings, and of course in terms of just overall quality to Wolves today. And as you can see, Wolves, this is their team for this half then, if I stop highlighting everything. For this half, for this game, not just for the half. I mean, they might change it at half-time, but who knows? I'm not that good at predicting yet. You still put Barkley on the bench. I mean, we're paying him, so he might as well be the world's most expensive seat warmer. Maybe we can use him as a draft excluder at times as well, just in case, there's someone listening underneath the door of the Chelsea changing room. Lay Ross Barkley across the door, and that's what we can pay him to be, the world's most expensive draft excluder. Maybe that could work. But moving on from that, let's talk Wolves. And Wolves start off in goal with, and you'll see, look at that rating. 7.19 for Jose Sarr. I do believe he is, if you look at his stats, let me try and get it up on FB Ref. If I try and get it up on FB Ref for goalkeeping, you are going to see goalkeeping. Which one is it? Goals against. It's expected goals against is the one I want. If I can find it, I will show you. But it's been absolutely immense, the goalkeeping from. Can I see the right stat? Where is he? I don't think I can see it. But I think the phrase is his expected goals against is like he's denied something like 10 clear shots. I can't even see him on there now that I've said that. What nationality is he? Jose Sarr. But he's been absolutely fantastic. He's been really, really good so far this season, has Jose Sarr. And save percentage from Wolves, as you can see, 82, which is his stat. Where is it? Why can I not see it today? Goals against per 90, Wolves really, really low down. But either way, the point I was going to make is he's had a fantastic season. In Afternoon Real Tom, and he's gone with Wolves 2, Chelsea 1. Old Tom's feeling Arsenal today, clearly. But my point is with Jose Sarr, he's been fantastic. And like I say, that stat is there that the expected goals that a team should have scored but have been saved, obviously in a catchier manner than I've just said it. Jose Sarri's on like 10. And everyone else, in terms of like Mendy, Alisson and Edison, you know, the keepers you would say are the best 3 overall in the league, they are on like 2 or 1. And it's absolutely mental to me. Talk to us when you get to another final, Tom. Talk to us when you get to another final. And this has got a smelly 0-0 all over it. I'll get to that in a second. Because I'm going to cast my mind back to previous games, because I think you're not wrong on that one. But as you can see, here's the 3 at the back with Connor Cody, who has been, for many people, a really, really good season for him. One of his better seasons in the Premier League, and partnered alongside with Roman Saiz and Willy Bolly. I do believe, now that I've just said that, I think this is the first time, I'm sure someone can correct me if I'm wrong on this, I think this is the first time I've watched Wolves all season. So despite having, in terms of like watching them live, despite, you know, having a good season and turning a few eyes and turning a few heads, I've not actually had my head turned in that sense at the moment. I don't. Tom's coming to wind me up. I love it, Tom. I love it. Left back is Nuri. Then the 3 across midfield is Dendoncker, Ruben Neves, João Moutinho, and Otto off the right hand side, and then Pedro Neto and Raul Jimenez up front. Just going back to what Wiki was saying, though, let's just... Oh, I've gone off my screen. I've accidentally pressed the wrong button. It's still on the screen for you guys, I do hope. But just going back to the 0-0, the stinky 0-0s, I'm going to try and find the head-to-head between these two teams. And if we can see them, if they're on here. Head-to-heads, look at that. Look at the head-to-heads. The last 2 games have both been stinky 0-0s. This one was when Chelsea were under Frank Lampard, and that was a stinky... I think it was at half-time, was it? That game was changed? I think it was 0-0 at half-time, yeah. And then Chelsea absolutely folded. But look at the formation Chelsea are playing here. Look how much has changed. It's so strange seeing Chelsea play a 4 at the back. That was when Edouard Mendy was making mistakes. You know... There's so much that has changed in terms of both sides. Like, if you look at this now, how weird does that look? Timo Werner off the right, a midfield 3 for Chelsea. Very, very strange. But the point to all of that is the fact that I don't think Wiki's wrong in saying that this could be a very, very tight game. Both teams seem to be able to cancel each other out. And if we look at the table... It doesn't really fill me with too much confidence that there's going to be many goals today. With 2 of the best defensive records in the league, I think it's the 3rd and 4th best defensive records in the league. And so it doesn't fill me with too much confidence that there's going to be goals. And of course, Chelsea, they definitely need to win. And so do Wolves. Wolves will want to put that pressure on now West Ham United, especially with them getting knocked out of the Europa League the other day. West Ham now don't have a different route in order to get in. But if you look at the form for Wolves there, 4 losses out of their last 5 in the Premier League. Chelsea, yes, they've not been in the best of form. They've had stuff going on off pitch, which has caused a few problems for them. But there's definitely room to manoeuvre here for Chelsea. And I guess the point I'm making when it comes to these head-to-heads as well, aren't we due an absolute goal fest? Aren't we due an absolute goal fest between these two sides? Look at that. Maximum of 3. Only one time there has been over 2.5 goals. And if anyone's a betting man, I'm sure Kurt will tell you, 2.5 goals is usually the area people go for under or over. And considering that's only been ticked once, and that was with a 2-1 win to Wolves, it is very, very surprising. Let's see if they cancel it out. Wolves' steady defence and assured defence, I'm sure, will be what makes Chelsea struggle today. It will be what makes Chelsea struggle. Let's have a look through some of your comments then, guys, and let's go back to the regular screen. Get your score predictions in as well if you haven't already, and do be sure to smash that like button as well, guys. Thank you for all the early support so far. Good to see a few new and a few old faces in here as well. Active Aaron says, would that be wide split strikers? And with Chelsea, the way that they've been playing, particularly with Mason Mount, if we just cast if we just, actually, I'll go back to the screen whilst I answer Aaron's question because it's easier to visualise it. But as you can see, Christian Pulisic, he's in that number 10 role, ironically as a number 10, probably the first time we've played him in a number 10 role. But Mason Mount in particular, when he's been playing over the last few weeks, has been dropping back into that number 10 role to allow Timo Werner to be able to run in behind. And I think Chelsea are just started to work out what to do with Timo Werner. And I think Thomas Tuchel's just realised that if he drops a midfielder further behind, then he can get the best out of Timo Werner because he can get those runs in behind. He can get those runs in behind. And if you look as well, it might just help having that attacking midfielder in there as well, because it means it's going to take up either Moutinho or Neves or Dendoncker. One of them is going to have to drop in to make sure that Connor Cody isn't having to man mark someone. So that might be really, really important with the way that this setup plays today. Wolves solid at the back and nice in possession, but lack creativity in the final third. Yeah, most certainly. But against Chelsea, you seem to be conceding goals pretty willy-nilly at the moment. It could be quite easy. Chelsea 3-1, says Curve today. Afternoon, Curved. How are we doing? 3-1 to Chelsea for today for Curve. So Curve's, thank God, back in the Chelsea blue. Real Tom says, Sam, how's the large Redgate outside your house? Unfortunately, we don't actually have one of those. I think it would be fitting, but we don't have one of those, I am afraid. Afternoon to Max, and even better to see Shah back in the chat. It's been a little while, Shah, but great to have you back in. I'm doing fantastic. Hope you are doing well as well, and hopefully you're getting your good run in for your GCSEs if you're about to start them, or if anyone's about to start your GCSEs, then best of luck. I know Shah is in a GCSE year, whether if it's his first year or his second year, I can't quite remember, but best of luck to you guys. Chelsea lack the creativity, and so do Wolves. Just gonna see a lack of quality in the final third. Yeah, I think we might be waiting for Reece James to come up and score some goals for us in this game. I think Reece James might be the only man to do it. To get us some goals. Chelsea probably going to dominate possession and Wolves just sit in their shape, says Wiki. He's coming in with some predictions for today. Afternoon to Shrafter as well. Wilco, that's who it is. It's Wilco who's on his exams. But I'm sure you'll have end of years anyway, Shah. I'm sure you'll have end of years. Mount isn't a 10, which is why he smells, says Wiki. 0-0 maybe. That 3-4-3, says Aaron. Both teams doesn't create as many as most might think as well. And we've got ourselves a new subscriber, Obey Riggs. Thank you for subscribing, and do be sure to let us know. Get in the chat, let us know your score prediction, and let us know who you're supporting as well for today, if you're a Chelsea fan or if you are a Wolves fan. Thank you for subscribing though. And Wilco is taking a break from revision. Exams start in 10 days. Best of luck for them, Wilco. And Shah says he's hoping Chelsea lose today, and he's hoping for 2-1 Wolves. That's his score prediction. Wilco going 1-1 as well. So it's going to be an interesting game. Like I say, Chelsea need to find their feet, and of course, maybe like I mentioned at the beginning, potentially that job security, not having to worry about the administration, the position of the club. Maybe that is just going to take a weight off their shoulders. Aidan Davey, afternoon, should I say, to you. He says 2-1 to Chelsea. He's going 2-1 to Chelsea. Wiki, any finished washed up players at Chelsea ends up at Arsenal. Pretty much. I watched the highlight of Wolves, 2-1 Wolves versus Chelsea last season earlier. Yeah, that was a really frustrating game. I think it was Podence or Neto, one of them dived as well, that really wound me up. As you can tell by the fact I can still remember it happened. Obviously, I can't remember which one. I can't remember which Portuguese man dived for them. But it really wound me up in that game. Really, really wound me up. And bugged me. I'm not going to lie. It did bug me. But I'm hoping for a better performance today. Like I say, it's been a bit disappointing against Wolves. Whether it's been more credit where credit's due to Wolves for playing well. I don't know. I just think Chelsea, maybe we're seeing that Chelsea's Achilles heel a little bit is Wolves. Maybe that is what we are going to see. And Aaron, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm a little bit concerned, considering City, usually when they get knocked out of a cup, absolutely batter the people they play at the weekend. Aaron, I'm a little bit concerned that Newcastle are going to be on for a pumping. Even with the improvements that they've made, I feel like City are going to go out this weekend to try and prove to the world that, look, we are the best team in the world, even if we can't do it. That is my concern for Active Aaron's beloved Newcastle United. How far away are we then from kickoff? We're about 8 minutes away. Like I said, we are about 8 minutes away. Shah says, how did Chelsea not get any team of the seasons? That's an EA Sports team of the season. That's Bull and Bruno got it. See, the reason why Chelsea haven't got it is because I do believe they've suspended the licence of Chelsea players to get it. Obviously, I think the only player realistically who maybe would have got one was Rudiger or Thiago Silva, or maybe you could stretch it to Edouard Mendy and Mount. But yeah, I think it's because of that, because of all of the stuff with Russia and Roman Abramovich's links to Vladimir Putin, that they just wanted to keep out of it. And I was like, it doesn't really make too much sense. No one's looking at FIFA and going, bloody hell, Chelsea have got a team of the season. Well, aren't we just endorsing it? No one said that whatsoever. And it is a little bit mental to me. It is a little bit mental to me, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. And unfortunately, for someone like myself who loves to play FIFA and on Ultimate Team particularly, and get the informs of his club and the special cards of his club, it's kind of rendered the whole thing a little bit useless, because I'm not going to sit there and do nothing. You know what I mean? It's very, very frustrating. Very frustrating. I've got no one to play towards and build towards. If I'm honest. Who in this Chelsea team could come to Arsenal? They're all leaving anyway. They pretty much are. They pretty much are at this point, aren't they? 3-4-3 can create chances, but not in the way that Chelsea implement them. It's the attacking three. The attacking three just aren't creative enough at the moment. They really aren't. If you had like Eden Hazard in that team, don't get me wrong, I think even just one player of his quality would change this completely, because I think he'd be able to cater to Lukaku's bit more sluggish nature, that kind of thing. So I do think that Chelsea are maybe a couple of key players away, really. You look at Chelsea, who would you consider world class at this current moment in time? In this Chelsea side, you'd probably say Reece James. In terms of a right back, he's world class. Edouard Mendy, world class. Kante, some people have been questioning it. I still think he's a world class player in terms of defensive capabilities, like me and Wiki have discussed. Maybe not so much on the ball. And then you look at the rest of the team. There's not really too many players, particularly this season. Rudiger is another one. Thiago Silva could be another one as well. But there's not really too many players who you think that is a match winner. So very, very interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. That Chelsea, I think they need to come up with a big signing this summer. A big signing, or we need to see the likes of Werner, Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi. These players, Hudson-Odoi, a bit of a forgotten man this season, but we need to see these guys. We need to see him scoring goals. And putting in good performances for Chelsea. City play 3-4-3 in possession. Rodri drops in. Cancelo joins midfield. Yeah, it's having that little bit of dynamism, isn't it? Having the ability to move between. I'm going to move my phone off from the side of my thingy there, because I feel like that's vibrating. But it's more about having that. What's the word? It's more about having that ability to transition and move players around. That movement in its own creates a problem. So that movement of Rodri dropping back and Cancelo going forward means that all of a sudden it stops from being it stops from being the emphasis on Rodri, we need to block Rodri's passes, to all of a sudden now it's the attacks down the left-hand side or the right-hand side or wherever Cancelo's playing. So that's why that's so important. That is why that's so important. And Chelsea need to find an ability to do that. Jose was in tears when he brought Roma to the Conference League final. That does surprise me, I'm not going to lie. Part of the Abramovich connection and the players of it, there's still max 2 that can get it. Yeah, definitely. Arsenal should have had Ødegaard, Saka, Ramsdale. Oh, I don't know. Has has Ramsdale been better though than Edison and Alisson and Sarr? It's really strange. And the problem is as well, it just becomes the problem is with these, it just becomes a what's the word? It just becomes a popularity contest. That'll be why Bruno Fernandes is in there, is because lots of people like Bruno Fernandes, or a lot of United fans like Bruno Fernandes, and they will have voted for him because they want to have him, and that's completely understandable. I can understand wanting to have your players featuring in the team of the season. That to me makes the most sense. I want to have my players featuring in the team of the season. But in a much more real sense, when it actually comes to it, do these players deserve to be in there? No, definitely not. Not really at all. The players are just coming out onto the pitch then, guys, and we will be underway in a short while. Saka in the team of the season. All he did was score a pen against Chelsea. Saka's been smashing it. Stop it, Shrafter. Shrafter on the wind-up. Love it. I missed Batman's comment there. Do you think there's something about Traore? I do apologise. Let me scroll on my phone. Do you think Wolves will sell Adama Traore if Barcelona don't activate the buyback clause? I don't know. He had a good sort of start, didn't he, at Barcelona, but he's maybe not continued it to such. I do think they need a powerful driver of a winger. I think I've said it before. I think I said it on a video a few weeks ago, actually, that I think they need someone to create from those wide areas. Maybe that's what they've been lacking, because they are a little bit short in terms of goals. They've only scored 32 goals this season, and this is a Wolves side that we expect to be firing a lot more, especially considering they are in the top 10. So definitely important to me that they get themselves another winger, even if they don't get Adama Traore back. They need to get themselves a new winger. Joelinton centre mid team of the season, says Aaron. The bridge is Halen's dance floor. Versatility might be the word. Wayne Bridge is on the dance floor, says Aaron. The real Bruno is at the tune. Disrespectful that Bruno was anywhere near the team of the season. Yeah, I mean, you think about it between Bruno and Mason Mount, and I have said quite a lot that in terms of goal scoring and assists, in terms of the blatant stats that are in front of you, it's Mason Mount's best season, but in terms of performances, it maybe isn't. And I wouldn't consider Mason Mount to be in the team of the season this season, and he's got the same amount of goals and more assists than Bruno Fernandes. So I do think them not having Chelsea players in has screwed over the vote a little bit, and that's why I think we see a couple of these players. But also, the absolute disrespect to Trent Alexander-Arnold to give him a 92 rated card. And I know that sounds stupid, but Cancelo's a 95. The amount of assists that Trent Alexander-Arnold gets per season, and you can't bump him up to a 95. Are you kidding me? It should have been exactly the same between the two of them. What an absolute joke. I saw it, and I packed him the other night, so I'm not complaining, but I was like, Trent Alexander-Arnold, an 87 rated player who starts in the first place. I was like, you've just gone, alright, we'll chuck him a 92. They've just given up with it. They must have just given up with it. Disrespectful that Bruno was anywhere near. Traore was just there to push Dembele. Now you saw Dembele changes his game when he plays during that great Barca run. Exactly, and to be honest with you, I think as well that Adama Traore is a player who could be really important to this Wolves game. So if this Wolves team. Sorry. If there'd have been, if they'd have been here this season, I think there'd have been more goals. I think there would have been more goals for Raul Jimenez, because he creates so much down that right hand side just from being quick and powerful. Not even for being that good, to be honest with you. Not even being that good in terms of final end product or even crossing ability, but just from the directness and the run of Adama Traore, which has been a characteristic of his game, so much so. Right, the players are just taking the knee. As always, I am slightly behind, and we are underway in this game. And it should be, like I say, an exciting one. If you haven't got your score predictions in, do be sure to get them in. I haven't given mine, so let me give mine. I'm going with Wolves lost 4 out of 5. Chelsea, they seem to be charity FC at the moment, so I think I can see Wolves doing something, but I'm going to have to back the Chelsea blue, and I'm going to go with 2-1 to Chelsea. That is my score prediction. You packed Trent? Damn. Yeah, I did. I packed Trent. I packed 4 the other day. I had like 17 packs that I had saved because I couldn't be bothered to play FIFA for months. And yeah, Trent Alexander-Arnold was in it. I got Timber, the centre half, and it was going down, and I was yelling Timber. There's also a CDM as well who plays for PSV. I also got him as well. Right, let's turn the crowd sound on as well. Come on then, Chelsea, let's up it. Is your ultimate team fully Premier League or a hybrid, Sam? It is more of a hybrid. I have just changed it because I got all those team of the seasons to try and fit them in. But yeah. I've got Inform Bunu with Sevilla, and he's played like 300 games for me. I've had him literally since the first week of FIFA. At the beginning of the year, him and Jules Koundé have been the only 2 players that have literally played every single game for me this season. Kovacic goes out wide to Marcus Alonso, who's going to whip in a ball there, and Christian Pulisic, to be honest with you, I think he should have tried to get on that, personally. I think he should have tried and got himself on there, because it was definitely, not too far away from him, not too far away from Christian Pulisic there, but he's not committed for it, and Chelsea are going to have to rebuild once again. Aspilicueta looks forward towards Werner. It's good interception there by Willy Bolly, and Wolves able to play themselves out here. Played up the line into the feet of Jimenez. Jimenez though gives the ball back to Chelsea. What have we made to Raul Jimenez's season this season? Still not back at his best, but is it a promising sign that he's managing to somewhat score the goals, or do we think the injuries come at the worst time for him with that big injury? When he was scoring goals and Wolves were looking good. I must say though, Bruno Lage, or Large, or whatever you want to say, has done incredibly well to get this Wolves side in the top half. I think a lot of people tip this Wolves side not to be relegated, but to be featuring further down the field, and for them to be in the top 8 for the vast majority of the season. They had an outside sniff as well of a Champions League, Europa League spot. I think a lot of people, we're going to send them down. And I think he's done very, very well as a result. I think he's done really well. Good job. Nuno Espirito Santo, of course, left as well, which would have shaken up the team. But Wolves, they're here. They might have lost 4 out of 5, and they might be on a bit of a rut. But in terms of what they'll have wanted to achieve from this season, which was a mid-table finish, it does look like, provided they can keep their noses in front of Newcastle, who are putting on that little bit of pressure. Provided they can do that, they can sort of rest happy sort of thing, and almost half go on holiday. But they've got a job here to do today. Chelsea, of course, like I say, will want to be proving stuff as well. Let's see. Right, I just need to turn it down just slightly because I'm conscious that you might be able to hear the commentary coming through, and we don't need that. Jimenez this season has been shocking. He started the season really well, but he's been poor for the majority. Yeah, I think the injury is the big injury is just sort of knocked the wind out of his sails, and when you come back from an injury like that, and especially one which for him was pretty life-threatening as well. There's always going to be an air of caution around you, and maybe that's what started to creep in. Maybe it's the way that Wolves play. I do think to a degree it is also the way that Wolves play that they don't score many goals, and so Jimenez has a finite amount of chances. Good play here by Chelsea as Pulisic looks to find Kovacic, but it was good defensive play in there by Wolves, and they look to hit on the counter-attack, but Thiago Silva has stopped that at its source. Chelsea just moving the ball around nicely there in the final third. It was a good interchange actually between Pulisic and Kovacic, or Pulisic should I say, not Sic. He has openly said that it is not a Sic, but it is a sick at the end of his name. Would you take Neves at Chelsea? Yeah, definitely. Admittedly, with the way that Thomas Tuchel plays, I don't know what the role Ruben Neves would have in this team. Obviously, he's a great defensive midfielder in his own right, but I just don't know if Chelsea play in the right way to suit Ruben Neves. Wolves try to press forward there. Jimenez putting a bit of pressure on Rudiger, and Rudiger's done well there actually. He's played the ball off the Mexican and out of play for a Chelsea goal kick. Wolves just trying to stretch there, play the early ball to try and unleash either, is it Neto or Jimenez who are up front. Ruben Loftus-Cheek again, starting by skipping past a few players. For 70 million, apparently that's the asking price. He's not that old though, is he, Ruben Neves? I think he's still 25, 26, which baffles me to this day that he looks like he should be like 30. He looks well older than me. He looks absolutely well older than me. But, you know, he's still a young man to some degree. Apparently there's been a goal to Aston Villa. Crikey, have they actually scored? No way have they actually scored. No way have Villa actually scored. And Danny Ings! Bloody hell. Will and he has scored for Leverkusen as well, so there you are. The more you know. But it is 1-0. Let me update that. Thank you, Fraser. Thank you. And I'll update that one. Scrolling across the bottom, Danny Ings opens the scoring in that game. Right, I'm going to update this. Oh. Scrolling text. Nope, not that one. The scrolling text is what I wanted. There we are. Chelsea looking forward already. Oh, there was a funny piece of defending there. Funny old piece of defending there from some of the Wolves defenders. And Jose Sar's just pointed and been like, use your head. Whether that's a response to using your head physically or mentally, but it was a weird clearance. I think it was Den Donker who'd slotted in between the strikers. Oh, your guy's shit-bagged. Still think Arsenal should get him? Absolutely. And it's doing bits on TikTok for me. It's on like 7,000 views, which is mental. I just think I'm out of favour with the YouTube algorithm at the moment. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. That's why I've been putting stuff on TikTok. So if you don't follow me on TikTok, or you have TikTok and you for some reason think, you know what, I want to follow Sam on there as well, go over there, and it's the same name, Sam Redgate-Large. Also, I've just had a Tango Dark Berry. Has anyone tried one of these? Because I'm not sure on it. It tastes like, and this is going to sound really weird, almost tastes like dark fruit without the alcohol. And unfortunately, with dark fruit, the reason I like them is the alcohol. Loftus-Cheek finds Matteo Kovacic. Kovacic rolls in Timo Werner. Werner, the touch first was poor, but it's a good shot. He gets one. Good shot save there by Jose Sarr, and it was he took himself just a little bit too wide there, Timo Werner. Just as he tried to get himself forward, he took himself a little bit too wide on that left foot, but it was good play by the German, by the Fortnite King himself. And the first touch just wasn't good enough though. It allowed Willy Bolly to get himself back in, and then the second touch was a bit better, took it out into his feet. Good strike, relatively good strike, but you'd expect a player of the quality of Jose Sarr to make a save there. Reece James to whip in a cross there, headed clear by Willy Bolly. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Romelu Lukaku, nowhere near the ball there as it came in. interesting that the ball was whipped in towards Timo Werner rather than Romelu Lukaku. In terms of height, one would assume that you would go for Lukaku, but apparently not. Dark Berry, yeah, it's a bit strange, Wiki. I mean, I'd say try it. It's not bad. It's just not my favourite tango. Not my favourite tango whatsoever. And as they say, it takes two to tango, Wiki, so you might as well try it as well. God, some of these puns are getting worse. I thoroughly apologise. Reece James tries to play it into Loftus-Cheek, and it was nicked back initially by Raul Jimenez, but there was some really good play, actually recovery play, by Loftus-Cheek, who managed to nick the ball away from Moutinho. It's going to be a strange era for Chelsea to go into. Such a strange era Chelsea are going to be in. A lot of change will go around the club. But who knows? Who knows where the side will be in 5, even 10 years' time. Loftus-Cheek rolls it out wide to Azpilicueta. We know how much it changes quickly in football as well. And, you know, Chelsea's money has brought them a lot of success over the last few years. They've bought very, very well. And they need to do that even more now, and potentially need to get the best out of their money. We've maybe seen over the last few seasons in particular, maybe not up until maybe, even 2017, 2018. We've seen over the last seasons, though, in particular, that's a good touch by Reece James. Reece James drives into a little bit of space there, and I think that's Ruben Neves, who's done really well, actually, to get himself back in. And then Connor Cody, excellent play from him as well, to play the ball off Reece James and behind. But what I was going to say was, Chelsea's buying has maybe been a little, I won't say bad, but it's been a little bit wayward since maybe 2018, 17, 18, about then. So interesting, really, how it's going to sit if Chelsea keep spending that way, because they used to, you look at some of the players that they've brought in previous years, they used to not spend big amounts of money. Of course, they've always spent, to a degree, they've spent a lot of money, and that's undeniable, but it often paid off, and over the last few years in particular, it hasn't really paid off. Of course, we won the Champions League last season, so I guess you can say that is it paying off. But in terms of actual signings, the best ones that we've had have been Mendy and Thiago Silva, and those two cost us the least. So they just need to be a bit more clever, or a bit cleverer, or a bit smarter, is probably the best way to say it, a bit smarter with the way that they buy and sell in the upcoming years, because the new owners might not quite have the same deep pockets that Chelsea fans, and in particular the club and the board, are so used to having when it comes to buying players. Pontus Jansson has just put Brentford 1-0 up, so it is 1-0 to Brentford against Southampton as well. So Brentford continue their nice little bit of form in the Premier League, which has seen them take themselves out of any relegation battle. Leeds could do with that bit of form, I must say. Pedro Neto there tries to brace? What am I trying to say? No, I did mean to say break. Trying to break himself between the lines there, trying to break into a bit of space. And he saw the run. I think he got a little bit undecided of where to go there. João Moutinho was the man in space, but he decided to opt instead to Raul Jimenez. It's 2-0 to Brentford. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. Chill out, Brentford lads. Chill out. Chelsea have won the ball back here, and here's Romelu Lukaku in the box. Lukaku, deflection into the hands of Jose Sarr. Have they actually scored again, Southampton? Bloody hell. Visa's just scored. That is literally, that must be straight from the kickoff. That must be straight from the kickoff with Brentford. It's 2-0 already. Brentford are absolutely flying. Absolutely flying at the moment. 2-0, Fraser. It's 2-0, lad. You're behind. Reece James into Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek finds Mateo Kovacic. Kovacic is tackled there by Den Donker, and there might be an opportunity to counter-attack here with Pedro Neto. He rolls it out wide to Nuri. Nuri tries to find it back to Pedro Neto. Oh, what a tackle that is from Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva just managed to, I don't even know quite how to describe that. He almost like hit it down into the floor and then clipped it up in the air. And I don't quite know how he's managed it. But it's good defensive play in the end. But it's way too easy for Pedro Neto out on that left-hand side to wander into space. And then the overlapping run of Nuri's good. But Chelsea need to cut it at source. They need to stop it at source because they've just been able there to get round it because Reece James was out of position. Just been able to get round it. João Moutinho is going to go out to take the corner. 2-0 G's, I didn't see that. I know it's been a quick turnaround there. And he's whipped in by, oh my gosh, Roman Saiz headers over from just on the 6-yard box there. It was a decent ball in from João Moutinho. And it was flicked on, I believe, off the head of Thiago Silva. And that might have just done enough, actually, to take it away from Roman Saiz. He fortunately didn't header it straight onto the head of the Moroccan. And Chelsea get away with that one, I must say. They need to make sure though that they don't leave Roman Saiz free and unmarked at the back post again, or too many times in the game, because he's not going to miss. He's not going to miss them all. I'll tell you that now. It definitely does look like Christian Pulisic, as we spoke about earlier, is playing in behind Timo Werner and Romelu Lukaku in that number 10 role. Conor Cody tries to play his way out from the back. He's going to spread it out wide to Willy Bolly. He drops his shoulder, cuts inside, gives it back to Conor Cody. They're just building, making sure that they can get their way out. Thiago Neves, Ruben Neves plays a delicious ball over the top towards Raul. Oh my gosh, Raul Jimenez, and he pulled it back. I'm getting my names all muddled up, and it's Johnny. He was running in late there, and just plays it wide. Just getting my names all muddled up and confused there. Ruben Jimenez, classic names. Thiago Neves. There is a Thiago Neves there, I'm pretty certain. I think he plays for Lyon. But it was a good counter-attack from, on another note, it was a good counter-attack from Wolves there, and Azpilicueta had to put in a last-ditch attempt there to stop Wolves as they were in full flow, and Johnny arriving later. I didn't realise he now goes by the name of Otto, or he does at least on the back of his shirt. He's always been Johnny. I don't know if anyone could update me on that when that happened. Like I say, I've not watched Wolves live so far this season. I don't think I watched the reverse game of this between Chelsea and Wolves. I might have done, but it must have been that boring that I can't remember. It was a 0-0. Marcus Alonso going to whip one in towards the box, and Pulisic and Lukaku get in each other's way, and classic Romelu Lukaku doesn't bother jumping as the ball comes into the box. Here's Marcus Alonso again, out on this left-hand side. Drops it back to Mateo Kovacic. Chelsea need to be a little bit... We say it every week, don't we now? And I'm almost fed up and tired of saying it, but there needs to be more movement up front. They need to be more clinical when they get the opportunities and create a little bit of space for themselves. Pulisic does well, though, and he bends one. He's just slipped as he's hit it there. It might have hit both feet as it went wide. But it was a good ball from Rudiger initially to spot him. He does well, actually, Christian Pulisic, to get away from Pedro Neto. Good close control, and he looks to bend it in that far post on that left foot of his. And does it hit a deflection? No, I think he's just placed it wide, actually, rather than it taking deflection, Pulisic. But good to see him actually taking a shot. Chelsea have won the ball back, though, from the goal kick. And here is Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And the referee eventually does give a foul. João Moutinho just tripping up Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I thought we were going to get the advantage there. But because of the way that Ruben Loftus-Cheek fell, he actually kicked the ball forward. Or hit the ball forward, should I more aptly say. But Wolves just causing themselves a problem there. Dan Donker just playing himself into a little bit of trouble. Fortunately, Moutinho was ready to step up and take one for the team for him, because you don't want to leave Loftus-Cheek in the form that he's in that sort of area. with the ball, because he will create an opportunity. There is both of Chelsea's fullbacks out to take this free kick. Reece James and Marcus Alonso. Marcus Alonso will be the in-swinging option, Reece James the out-swinging option, as it is off that right-hand side for Chelsea. But let's see what Chelsea can do. Can they get a good ball in here? And can Romelu Lukaku attack the ball? That's what I'm more intrigued to see. Can we see Lukaku actually attack a header? Because I don't think I've seen one in a very, very long time from Romelu. In comes the free kick from Alonso. Clipped in towards that back post there. There might be a foul on Jose Sa, and the referee's just going to pause the game there. There was a couple of players in there who have just gone down holding their heads. Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Willy Boly, the two players. They both look okay. They're not like Joe Aribo in midweek for Rangers, where he was just completely wiped out on the floor. Ruben Loftus-Cheek there just feels the full force of a kick to the face, accidentally of course, by Jose Sa, who was trying to gather the ball. Aaron says yes, German league tax is real. They are very good at making players look better than they really are. I think it's the way that the German league plays. It's not as physical, hence why Timo Werner does really well, because he's not a physical player, and maybe that's it. But you know, you still get a lot of good players coming through from the German leagues. Take De Bruyne, Heung-min Son, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, so Gundogan as well. So there are still plenty of players who do come through. It's just maybe it takes a little bit more time to adjust. And if you look at for the most part, if you look at those players who've come through, for example, Gundogan has been at his best sort of last season, taking a little bit of time to get into it. Heung-min Son, again, another player that took a little while to adapt. De Bruyne obviously had that experience already, having played a few games at Chelsea, had played at Wolfsburg, and so maybe it is that the players who go there knowing that it's less physical than other leagues, or have the time to adapt, maybe that's where the strengths lie. And you look at someone like Heung-min Son now, who's pretty much up there with one of the best players this season in particular. So whilst there definitely is, I think you get it anywhere, don't you? You do get it anywhere. You're always taking a risk to some degree when you sign someone, as Nuri is fouled off that left-hand side. Aubameyang is a good player, but he was heavily reliant on the open space and ineffective when there wasn't. I never thought Aubameyang was as quick either. Like, I remember, like, when he was at Dortmund, everyone was like, oh, Aubameyang's absolutely rapid. I don't think I ever saw that at Arsenal. I don't think I ever saw it at Arsenal, and like I swear that's what they brought him to do, to be like really, really quick. Wolves do have a free kick here off the left-hand side. Sorry, Nuri was fouled as the ball was about to go out. It's going to be whipped in towards the box, and Roman Saiz there. He's headed it into the ground, and as a result, it's bounced over. Chelsea get away with one again. They can't keep leaving Roman Saiz free and unmarked there. I don't know whose man he was there, but they've all let him go. Rudiger, I think it was, who just let him go. He just let him go towards Thiago Silva. Silva has no clue he's there. No clue he's there. He was rapid, but most teams in the Prem play with a low block. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Oh, Reece James there. There was an opportunity to counter-attack. Opportunity to counter-attack. How many goals, okay, do we think Reece James would score if you started him up front? How many do we reckon he'd score in a season? Hang on. Here's some... Did that sound good? I heard that sound good. Why did Chelsea have to be getting taken over? Why do... That didn't really make sense. Why are Chelsea being taken over is the question. I mean, I think you'd prefer them to get taken over than to be put in admin, Fraser. I think everyone would, to be honest with you, and that looked like it was the way it was going. Especially the other day when Abramovich said that he wanted the 1.6 bill back, and everyone was like, well, looks like it's administration. Dendoncker finds the feet of Neto. Neto tries to spin away there from Cesar Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta had his number already written down there and able to get across. Knew exactly what he was doing. The commentator said it looks like either side could score. It does, but it also looks like either side could just not score, and this could be how it is for the rest of the game. That is the brutal part of it. That is the brutal part of it. That both of these sides, whilst they are good defensively, in terms of attacking, particularly Wolves and particularly of late Chelsea, they've just not been good enough. They've just not been good enough. Don't know about that. I was waiting for all Chelsea fans to come back to the Arsenal fan base. Alright. You're just mad because we got Cesc Fabregas. Yeah, the thing is though, I always think sending a team into administration is like, what do fans do then? Like, if a club goes into admin, then who do you go and support? That must be a really weird one. Because in particular, for a supporter, you are then pretty much like a free agent, and then you've got to try and fall in love with another football club. And that's the difficulty, that is the difficulty. But fortunately, Chelsea are going to live to see another day. Hopefully they can get themselves some sponsorship money in sooner rather than later. Let's see how many likes we are on, ladies and gents. We are on 13 likes at the moment. That's absolutely fantastic. As Timo Werner goes down the left-hand side and tries to pull one back. We are aiming for 15, so if you haven't already, guys, and you are enjoying, do be sure to smash that like button for us, and do hit subscribe if you are new to the Sam Redgate-Large channel. We are 13 subscribers away from 700. This last 100 seems to have been taking a little while, but the best things come to those who wait, and let's try get ourselves there, eh? Let's try get ourselves there. In comes the corner from Marcos Alonso, whipped in towards Thiago Silva, headed clear though by Willy Bolly. Alonso will whip it back in again. There's a bit of pinball in the box there, and it somehow squeezes its way out to Raul Jimenez, who can put a delicious ball forward there to Pedro Neto. And Pedro Neto, I think he knew he wasn't going to get past Cesar Azpilicueta there, and he's made a bit of a meal of an arm coming across from Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta's adamant that it wasn't a foul. As soon as you put your arm out and it's going to get in the way, then absolutely you can see why he's gone down. I wanted him back the second time. We needed another centre midfielder, but fans started disrespecting him. Chelsea have a new owner. They most certainly do. Yeah, I love Cesc Fabregas. I think he's an excellent player. I think he was one of a kind as well. I think the way that he played, he was very, very intelligent. He knew the right times to attack, the right times to stop. And you look at that season, particularly at Arsenal, where he had, 14 goals, 16 assists. Unbelievable numbers for a centre midfielder. And you kind of forget that, especially as we saw him more of a defensive midfielder at Chelsea, that he was in fact an attacking midfielder at Arsenal and a false nine at times as well at Barcelona. So a player who was very, very diverse in the way that he could play, but also would do a job and consistently give everyone 9 out of 10s, 10 out of 10 performances. And to be honest with you, I think a bit of a Premier League legend. He definitely inspired me when I was younger. He was one of my inspirations. Right, João Moutinho has the opportunity to whip in this free kick then. It's whipped in towards the box. There's a bit of a two headers in there from Chelsea, and it's driven back in. Ruben Neves on the edge of the box. You can't let Ruben Neves drive one in from the... You can't let Ruben Neves drive one in from the edge of the box. I think Jimenez does get a flick on it there as it looks to come through a crowd of bodies. I think Jimenez does get a touch on it, but it didn't go on target, fortunately for Chelsea, and play is resumed from the goal kick. Very, very fortunate that didn't go anywhere else from Raul Jimenez. It could have come anywhere, really. Could have gone anywhere. Chelsea throw in. Here is Antonio Rudiger. Goes to switch it out right towards Aspilicueta. Can Chelsea up this now for the final 15 minutes here? Realistically, not created the better of the two chances here. I can't really remember a clear-cut opportunity other than that Timo Werner strike from the left on goal for Chelsea, but that wasn't really clear-cut. It was just a good little bit of play from Chelsea down the left-hand side. They need to start creating stuff, like we keep saying every single week at the moment. They need to create stuff because they're not good enough at the moment. And here goes Raul Jimenez, and if he can look up and spot, he's got support coming through the middle. Sorry, it was Pedro Neto who was trying to break free. He seems to be doing his work. His work rate seems to be very good today, Pedro Neto. He seems to be battling really hard and driving the team forward, almost on his own at times as well. And I think that's going to be important if they're going to get themselves a result out of this game, because he is being really good. That's a lovely ball from Ruben Neves there. I didn't even spot it myself, and I could see the whole of the screen there. Here is Ruben Neves once again, who clips one forward, looking towards Den Donker there, and Den Donker just can't quite get his head on it. He was looking to knock the ball back down across the box. Aston Villa have made it 2-0. 2-0 to Aston Villa. 2-0 to Aston Villa in that game. Beat you to it, Fraser. I beat you to it. I don't know if I beat you to it, but I really don't know. Chelsea just putting on a bit of a press here, led by Christian Pulisic, but Wolves being quite press-proof at the moment. But Bolly's pass there was a little bit dodgy. He's managed to retain it though, as it bounced off Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Here is João Moutinho on the right-hand side, drops it into Johnny. Johnny's going to try find Raul Jimenez there. I nearly said Ruben Neves again there. Here is Neves, who finds Pedro Neto. They're just being crowded out at the moment, Wolves. They're having to sort of go from side to side because of the way that Chelsea are setting up. There doesn't seem to be too much room for Wolves players to get through, and Nuri ends up putting the ball out of play himself. This Chelsea players do not rate Lukaku. Has he touched the ball at all? That's a very good question. That was a very good question. I don't remember him taking a touch. Admittedly, I am a person who gets frustrated at Romelu Lukaku quicker than others, so if I've blanked it out, let's have a look. Where does it say? Where does it say? Half-time game, guys, is going to be, we're going to guess how many touches Romelu Lukaku has had. I've just seen how many it is now, but that's what the half-time game is going to be. We'll do a bit of a guess the player, of course, as always, but we will do guess how many touches Romelu Lukaku's had in the game. Ian, afternoon to you. He says Liverpool to win 3-0 against Spurs. 3-0 against Spurs. It's a big game in terms of the Golden Boot, that one. I'm sure Curve will be watching in anticipation, hoping that Salah can score some goals and Son doesn't catch up there. And it's gone 1-0 to Palace as well. 1-0 to Palace as well against Watford. So Watford, I do believe they'll go down if they lose this game. I believe I've got that correct. If they've not already gone down, at least. They should definitely do. Kovacic clips the ball out wide there to Marcus Alonso. Marcus Alonso back into Mateo Kovacic. Kovacic, lovely turn and a nice injection of pace to give the ball to Reece James. A little 1-2 with Kovacic and makes his run. Lukaku gets himself another touch there. Into Pulisic. Werner! Oh! Is he onside? Oh, it's a bloody foul. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It was really good play by Chelsea. It's an excellent ball by Christian Pulisic. Oh, you are kidding me. That is not a foul. Oh, Roman Saiz, you big baby. That is not a foul. That is never a foul. He's already on his way down. Surely VAR could overturn that. Surely VAR could overturn that because there's no foul in there. He's got away with one there, Roman Saiz. Excellent finish from Timo Werner. But he did nothing there, Werner. I spoke earlier, didn't I? I said he's not a very physical player. Roman Saiss, you absolute big baby, man. He's flopped on the floor like a fish. He's out of position. He's been carved apart with a nice movement of play. It was dropped into Lukaku. Lukaku back into Pulisic. Pulisic, excellent ball in behind. But I think he's just gone down because, like, he feels a touch in his back. But it's not enough for me. It's not enough for me to see a 6'2" centre-half flop on the floor like a fish with his arms out like this. Unbelievable from Roman Saiss. Ian says, calm down, lol. I know. It's just one of those things, Ian, that really annoys me when people go down too easily. That's a good touch, though, from Werner to find Kovacic. Really good play from Chelsea. Ruben Loftus-Cheek now tries to spin himself away. He's done really well to keep hold of the ball there. As it's threaded through to Romelu Lukaku. Oh, Jose Sa made himself big there. It was a good ball over the top. I think it was Mateo Kovacic. I'm not sure if Lukaku ended up getting a touch on it in the first place. I don't know if he aimed for Werner, but Jose Sa had to come out and make himself big there. And just as we said, that the half-time game was going to be guess how many touches Lukaku's had. He's maybe had a couple more that we weren't anticipating before half-time. He's just got bodied. That's not a foul. I don't think it's a foul whatsoever. It's like Werner's not even looking to foul him, if you know what I mean. He's just looking to run past him, and he's in the way, if anything. There's Pulisic is fouled on the edge of the box. Why can't I get my YouTube back up onto the right time? Why are you doing this to me? Roman Saiss gets himself in the book. So he'll have to be careful following that foul on Christian Pulisic. Okay, Rob, get some confidence. He does look like he's growing in confidence just a little bit. Maybe in Marcus Alonso range, this free kick, I tell you what. It might be. You could probably do it with a yard closer to the camera and a yard closer forward. But probably just right at the edge of Marcus Alonso territory here for the Spaniard. Reece James is also in there if he wants to do a more of an out-swinging cross. Timo Werner is lurking at the back post, unmarked if they can find him. It is Marcus Alonso who takes it, and it bounces through the wall and out for a corner. He didn't quite get the height on that there, did he, Marcus Alonso? And does that hit a hand on the way through? I think they've given it as a thigh onto the hand rather than anything else. Alonso will take the following corner, though. Marcus Alonso whips it in, and it's been flicked on, and oh my God, it's gone in! I don't know how Rudiger didn't put it in, but Loftus-Cheek has made sure. They were stood like 2 yards out, the two of them, and it came all the way through. Poor defending from Wolves. Really poor defending. I'm a little bit apprehensive to celebrate because I feel like someone's going to try and claim something there, but I feel like it was just really poor defending from Wolves as the corner came in. They all lost their men. Oh, I think that's going to be offside. Does that touch Lukaku, or does that touch the Wolves defender? And is there a Wolves defender who's playing on Ruben Loftus-Cheek? They didn't quite give me enough time to process that because they're appealing for a I think this is going to be ruled out. Not for the first one, if anything. But to be honest with you, I don't know how Rudiger didn't score in the first place. But I think if it touches Lukaku, which I think it does, I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek is offside. But we're not going to be able to see unless we can spin round and look from a different camera angle whether this is Romelu Lukaku it comes off. Because Rudiger for me is onside there. It's whether it hits Lukaku's knee and goes to Ruben Loftus-Cheek, or if it hits, I'm not sure if it's Sainz or the Wolves defender will say. For me, Rudiger is onside, but it's now that second one. Whose knee does that touch? And I don't know if you're going to be able to tell there. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell, because it seems to come off at a funny angle if it were to come off Romelu Lukaku. If they're looking at Lukaku and that's come off Lukaku, but can they guarantee that that has come off Lukaku? I'm not sure they can. But I don't think it's going to stand, because I also don't think they've got enough evidence. Oh, here we go. We've got a different camera angle here. Who does that come off then? Who does that come off? It comes off Romelu Lukaku, doesn't it? Yeah, it comes off Romelu Lukaku. That one's not going to stand. That one's not going to stand. Ruben Loftus-Cheek's goal is going to be chalked off here. Ruben Loftus-Cheek's goal is going to be chalked off 5 minutes before half-time. And Chelsea unlucky, but I don't know how Rudiger didn't score in the first place, to be honest with you. Don't know how Rudy didn't score in the first place. But I definitely think it's definitely ruled out. Definitely ruled out, as my internet just dips out for some strange reason there. Not quite sure why I did that. Not quite sure he did that, but it has been ruled out. Chelsea, VAR correction. VAR correction for Chelsea. It is still 0-0. Chelsea 0. Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Like I say, as soon as I saw that that had touched Romelu Lukaku on its way through, I just couldn't see it being any other way. Couldn't see it being any other way, to be honest with you. It was quite blatantly obvious that it had taken a deflection on the way through from Romelu Lukaku's knee, and been ruled out there as a result for offside. Todd looks baffled. Yeah, that's 2 goals we've had in the back of the net already in this first half. Commentator making a good point there. And to be honest with you, I think Werner desperately unlucky for that not to have stood, to be honest with you. I don't know if you guys agree. I think Wiki agreed with me. Rudiger looks long there for Reece James. Cleared though by Wolves once again. Wolves will be, if they can go in at 0-0, I'll tell you what, Wolves will be very pleased with it, considering they've had a very light ruling for that Timo Werner goal. And of course as well, having that offside goal ruled out as well. But we are about 3 minutes away here from half time. Chelsea need a big final 3 minutes. Like I say, over the course of the game, not too many clear-cut opportunities. I'd definitely say though that the best has fallen, other than that Timo Werner offside goal, has fallen to Wolves. Marcus Alonso to whip in this corner, headed cleared. Is it headed cleared? No, it's not. 50p head from Raul Jimenez has headed it back out again for another Wolves, for another Chelsea corner for Wolves to defend. Offside should be based off where the players' feet are. Judging players on having leant forward is BS. Totally agree, Aaron. Totally agree. Absolutely agree with that one. Or better yet, it should be a part of your body that you can score from. For example, if they've scored from their right foot, if they've scored from their right foot, if their right foot is onside, you know, you can change the rules. You can have a look at them, and I'm sure we could find a better way of doing it than being leaning. Because realistically, has that helped? Maybe, but not overly. Not overly. Exactly, you can't win with your posture. We can't win anyway. We can't win anyway, apparently. We cannot win anyway. Even when we score, people just knock it off for some reason. Thiago Silva looks forward there for Lukaku. Lukaku deemed to have been offside though, as the ball was clipped in towards him. Yeah, he's definitely offside. Like, Loftus-Cheek is definitely offside when that bounces off Lukaku. But I don't know how Rudiger's missed it, and I don't know how Romelu Lukaku, is not. There's too many Rus. There's Romelu. There's Rudiger. There's Ruben. 2 Rubens on the pitch actually. Raul. Why have we got so many? But I don't know how Lukaku's just not swung a leg at it. Like, I know it's a quick response, but for me, I think I'd be swinging a leg at it there. I think I'd just do anything I could, and possibly could, to try get me body in the way. But, you know, Romelu Lukaku, he's the professional footballer who's barely scored all season. I'm just someone who sits and watches every single game. You know, who knows more, who knows more. He does quite well there, though. Romelu Lukaku drops it into Christian Pulisic to Timo Werner, but Pulisic's pass, which was looking for Reece James, has been intercepted, and there might be a counter-attack opportunity on here for Wolves. Carried by Pedro Neto, who weaves in and out. Good save, and oh my gosh! Dendoncker blazes it over. Dendoncker, a golden opportunity, has blazed it over. Unbelievable opportunity that. It's really good play by Pedro Neto, who so far has been the star of the match, the man of the match so far for me, from both teams. And he's cut back in, he's done really well, chopped back in, and then Dendoncker running in, a little bit of pressure from Marcos Alonso, but he's blazed it over. Blazed it over. Absolutely blazed it over. Unbelievable. Try and get some media work with Chelsea. I'd love to. I'd love to. I'm keeping my eyes peeled for jobs at the moment in the industry. So hopefully I can find somewhere that is appropriate for me. Rudiger into Marcos Alonso, tries to flick that one round the corner though, and Raul Jimenez has got a bit of space to gallop into. He's really poor though, as he only succeeds in finding the heel of Rudiger, and Chelsea able to regain possession. Thiago Silva's now going to drive into a load of space. I'm sure it'd be an awkward interview if he saw some of the things I've said about Romelu Lukaku in terms of his footballing ability, but here he is, and he's got his back against the... Oh my gosh, he had his back against the wall, if you will. He spins, it's a good spin. That is Romelu Lukaku that we saw at Everton and that we saw at Inter. Back up against Roman Saiz, spins well, spins back round, on his right foot, decent strike, good save from Jose Sa. That is what we've seen the best of Romelu Lukaku, when he has done that kind of thing. Again, when he's played for Everton and when he's played for even Manchester United as well, and of course Inter Milan. That's when we've seen him at his best, with his back against the wall. It is 3 minutes of added time we've got here, so we've already done a minute and a half or so. And Pedro Neto gets himself in the book. I'm not quite sure what he's just done there. Was it for the foul initially? I didn't think the foul was that bad. I think it's because he didn't let go of Reece James after he'd already fouled him. But that's another yellow card for Wolves. Maybe we'll have a red card. Maybe that might spice up this game just a little bit more. It's not the tool, it's the bozos using them. If something isn't nailed in properly, you don't blame the hammer, you blame the builder holding it. Very true, very true. But also, the hammer doesn't have a massive attitude problem. That is the difference between that there. Kovacic whips it in. It falls to Lukaku, who tries to chest it down again. That's better from Lukaku. What? From Romelu Lukaku. And, oh God, Wolves on the counter-attack here. And it's led by Nyori. Nyori, can he get his shot off? Oh, he's put it over again. A huge opportunity for Nyori. It was a great counter-attack again from Wolves. And they just seem to be hitting on the counter-attack really well. Pedro Neto does well. Bolly does well as well, because he carries the ball out. And Nyori, acres of space. Reece James coming back, and he's blazed it over. He's blazed it over. Reece James just does enough there. Just does enough there to put him off, and he's blazed it over. And that could have been a big, big opportunity. A big opportunity there for me in this game. And we're still playing for some reason. We're still playing. We've had all 3 minutes, and there we are. There we are. I don't know why the referee let us take that goal kick there, but we had it, and we got ourselves an extra 15 minutes of madness. But 15 minutes? 15 seconds of madness, not 15 minutes. Jesus. Now that would have been good. That would have been good. But But guys, it is half time. Let me know your thoughts if you are watching along at home. Of course, the big controversy being that ruling of that Timo Werner goal being offside. So do let me know your thoughts on that if you haven't already. And like I say, do be sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe as well. Let me just update all the screens and then we'll get ourselves a nice little quiz going on as well. And there's 13 of you in here, so I want to know, how many touches do you think Romelu Lukaku has made thus far in the game? How many touches do you think he's got? Get your predictions in. How many do we think? This is going to be our halftime segment. How many touches has Lukaku had today? How many touches has Romelu Lukaku had so far in this game? Give us your best guess. Let's see what it is. Let's see what it is. Loads of fans have been talking about their conspiracies against their teams. The refs are not awful. They're always suspicious at this. What? They're not allowed to be questioned. Yeah, that's part of the problem. They don't get questioned enough. Right, Romelu Lukaku. I know how many touches he's made. So you guys need to tell me how many touches he has made. How many touches in 45 minutes has Romelu Lukaku made? I think the problem with referees is, I think if you were to, what's the word? I think you need to mic up the referees, and then you can see, then you'll be able to see what's being said and stuff like that. And I think it would just open up a whole new world, and people would be like, oh, actually, I understood how they've got to that decision. I think that is the problem. Sometimes it just seems like they've jumped to a decision, like that one with Timo Werner. Surely VAR should have been like, actually, mate, that's not a foul. You've ruled it out for a foul, but it's not a foul. If you can do it before and be like, say for example, you go through, you score, everything's fine, it's in the back of the net, and then VAR can rule it out for a foul, it should be the same thing. Red Nats, good afternoon to you. You've gone with 11 Romelu Lukaku touches. 11 Romelu Lukaku touches. Wiki, let us know how many you've got. Aaron, if you're still there as well, how many Romelu Lukaku touches in this first half? Of course, at one point, I do believe he had the record for the least amount of touches in a game, which will tell you all you need to know. Considering the quality of player he should be, Romelu Lukaku. Wiki's gone with 21. He's gone quite high there with 21. If Aaron's still in here, Aaron, if you want to give your guess, or I'll give you 30 seconds, and then I will reveal all. I will reveal the answer to you. Oh, he's had 100% shot accuracy. God, get him. Get him, 100%. I mean, he's only had one shot, but he's had 100% shot accuracy. One key pass as well. God, Romelu, lad, you're on fire. You're on fire. Absolutely on fire. Every single week there is a Stonewall decision over multiple seasons. I am 100% convinced eventually a huge scandal is going to be uncovered. It seems to happen so much, so much. And Aaron's gone with 30. I can reveal to you, Red Naz is the closest, and it was, hang on, where's it gone? It's just disappeared off my screen. 9 touches in that first half. 9. So if you get Aaron's touches and take them away from Wiki's touches, you get the correct answer. And that is quick math. Quick math. 9 touches. 9 touches in the first half. That's not a good start. That is not a good start. Even, well, Werner has more than him as well, and Werner's apparently had a worse match rating in this game. So 9 touches is mental. Mental. Fraser went with 8, so Fraser was pretty damn close with that. Pretty damn close. Good stuff, Fraser. I don't know how that's a foul. I'm just re-seeing that goal from Timo Werner. I don't know how that's a foul. I don't know how that's a foul. Right, let's do a game. Come on, let's do a game. We are going to do Guess the Player quiz. Let me change over to the screen once we are all locked and loaded and ready to go. Here we are. Here we are. Guess the Player quiz, of course. Here we go. Right. We're going to do an England quiz. We're watching English football. If Lukaku and Dele Alli had a child, what division would they play in? I think they would be playing... I think there would be... It would be the laziest player in the world, so I don't think they would be playing. I don't think they would be. That is my answer. World class. What do you mean, see? Got any glasses so I can see? You can see that, Fraser. You can see that. I can read it through my screen on here, so you can see that. You can see it. Yeah, that should be fine. That should be fine. Right. No more moaning, Fraser. No more moaning. Let's have a look then. So, we have I'm assuming an England international, yes. Oh my god, I forgot we used to have England B teams. That's so weird. A Liverpool player from 1991 to 2002, then played for Spurs and Southampton. Is James playing well, mate? Says Dara. He's been doing okay. He's been sort of a bit patchy in the game. You don't really he's not really had too many opportunities to create, and he's not had any opportunities in terms of clear-cut striking opportunities at goal. Maybe not at his best, but not a bad performance. And like I say, he can just turn it on at any point. He can turn it on at any point. That's what I'm thinking as well, Aaron, actually. I'm thinking Redknapp, but I don't know if that's enough letters. It might be. It might well be. I saw the 1991 to 2002 Liverpool and thought Jamie Redknapp instantly. But that might be just because it's my lack of knowledge. Let's see. Redknapp. It is. Good stuff, Aaron. Good stuff, Aaron. Confirming what I already thought. He retired really early, didn't he, Jamie Redknapp, in terms of, like, age-wise. He was quite a young retiree. Let's have a look then. The next one. Oh, God. The next one. Wiki, you might have to help us out on this one. Oh, no. I know who it is. But I'm not going to say. So, this is a player. This is a player who is a Polish international, currently plays for West Ham United. That should give you the clue. Anyway, that should give you a big clue. A Polish international who plays for West Ham United, formerly of Swansea City, and if you haven't already got it, formerly of Arsenal as well. Has never scored a goal, so that should give you a clue as to what position it is if you've not already got it. Single line unlimited data as low as $25 a month. I was very concerned when I saw all of those clubs at the top, and I was like, oh god, I can guarantee it'll be just like one random like Stoke City player. One random. Fraser's got hoe do you spell? Don't call me a hoe. It is Fabianski. Fraser. Ho, do you spell? Oh, Fraser. That's really tickled me. It is Fabianski, if I don't put two Fs. Fab-E-An-Ski. There we are, Lucas Fabianski. Oh, God, that really tickled me. That really tickled me. Right, next one is... I think I know who this is. I think I know who this is. I think I know why they've had such a short career as well. I think I know why they had such a short career as well. Who I think it is. I can't remember how you spell his name. Oh, it might not be him. I don't know. I don't know how to spell his name. Let me type it into my phone so I can... Jermaine Pennant? No, it's not Jermaine Pennant. He played for Liverpool. He actually, here's a fun fact about Jermaine Pennant. He actually has a Man of the Match award from a Champions League final, the 2007 Champions League final. Oh yeah, I know who it is. Yeah, I was spelling his name right. I was definitely spelling his name right. Lovely career. You're gonna regret saying that when you realise who it is, Fraser. You're gonna regret saying that when you realise who it is. There may be a particular reason why a particular Bolton Wanderers player against Spurs had his last ever game for a football team, and Active Aaron is absolutely correct. It is Fabrice Muamba. Fabrice Muamba, and of course, you know, he retired after. Didn't he? He retired after that heart attack, which he did suffer on the field against Spurs Always seems to happen with Spurs. There we go. We've got Spurs involved again. Spurs involved again. Aaron, this is one for you. This is one for you. I can hear your match source very clearly. Okay, no worries. No worries. I will turn that down. Thank you, Curved. Thank you. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. So, Tottenham, Newcastle, Birmingham City. Who is it? Who is it? Active Aaron. Are you going to tell us who it is? Are you going to tell us who it is? An Irish international, not known for their goals, between 2004 and 2008. It's a 4-letter name. Who could it be? Yeah, Stephen Carr. Yeah. Oh. I always do that. Yeah, good shout, Aaron. Good shout. I don't think I'd have got there. I don't think I'd have got there because of the 4 letters thing. I think that would have thrown me off. Right. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. Is that... It might be. It might be. No, that's too many letters. Stephen Carr. Most certainly was Stephen Carr. This might be the furthest we've got through one of these. A Scottish international who played for Liverpool is, by the looks of things, a defensive player. It's a little bit before my time, so I'm hoping some of the older people in the chat, or shall I say more experienced people in the chat, will be coming through here. A Scottish international who played for Liverpool, but only scored 8 times. Only scored 8 times in... He had a 14-year career as well at Liverpool. A 14-year career as well at Liverpool. I'm too young, yeah. So am I think, Fraser. So am I think. We'll give ourselves a clue in a sec. We'll give ourselves a clue in a sec. Can I do that as well? Oh, nice. Hang on. Give me 2 secs. Give me 2 secs. I might be able to make this bigger. There we are. Soonest, maybe? Maybe. It could be. Could be. Hansen. Alan Hansen. Yeah. Should we try it? Oh. Nice. Oh, no. Oh, is it Hansen? Yeah, there you are. Alan Hansen. What a shout that is. I totally forgot about him. He was on Match of the Day all the time at one point, wasn't he? He was on Match of the Day all the time at one point, and now he's not. Now he's not. Retired from the game. Retired from the game. Right. Oh God, we're going to blast to the past. Wiki, how good is your Arsenal knowledge, lad? How good is your Arsenal knowledge? Let's see. Let's see. So, oh, I think I know who this is. Yeah, I know who this is. Yeah, I definitely know who this is. The top 2 teams give it away, and then of course with Arsenal gives it away. Ian, right. You most certainly are correct, Aaron. Ian, right. Aaron, you're on fire today, lad. You are on fire today. Absolutely on fire. We've done 6. Let's move. I'm fair. I'm old and a Scouser. Nice. Next one. Active Aaron. You're going to have to be a hero again by the looks of things. Right, let's have a look. Newcastle United. Let's see what nation they are. That always helps me. That's Northern Ireland, because this is a German website, so that is Northern Ireland. I need to just give me 2 secs. I just need to check that the football's not restarted. Not yet. It's not restarted as of yet. Let me swap back to the screens. There we are. Let me swap back here. I do apologise. Right, here we go. So, here we are. This is the player's career. So, from 1997 to 2005, they were at Newcastle United. They then proceeded to move to Aston Villa for 2 years before going to Fulham for 7 years, having a brief stint at QPR and Brighton and Hove Albion before going, what looks like at the twilight of his career, abroad to Melbourne City and a couple of other teams as well. A Northern Irish Newcastle United player between 2005. It looks like a defensive player or a midfielder. Newcastle United player, Aston Villa to Fulham. Aston Villa to Fulham. Oh, God. God, I can hear the players coming back out onto the pitch as well. So we should be back underway soon at Stamford Bridge. So we shall leave it there, unless if anyone knows that one, do be sure to get it in the chat. We are back underway, and let me just get the timer going. And yes, we are back underway for the second half, and it was the best way to say it was an interesting first half. I think Chelsea will be a little bit annoyed, like I say, that they didn't proceed to grab themselves a goal in that first half, but who knows, it could all change over the matter of the course of the rest of the game. And Werner, oh my gosh, nearly instantly, it's a terrific save from Jose Sarr, a brilliant save, smart save down to his left. Romelu Lukaku heads the ball down and it falls to Pulisic, and then it's just a half opportunity into the ground from Timo Werner, and he's done well. And my 3-1 is a ridiculous shout. Don't count your chickens yet. They might still hatch. They might still hatch for you, Kerb. They might still hatch for you. Especially with the positive nature of that start from Chelsea. Reece James whips one in. It's towards Thiago Silva. Headed clear though. Willy Bolly headers it even further. As far as Pulisic though. Lofted back in by Rudiger. Headed back in again by Pulisic. And cleared upfield by Chelsea. Oh, that was a very, very quick start. I'm just turning my phone on silent because I'm getting notifications through. And I don't want to have the game spoiled for myself. Is the important thing. I don't want to have the game spoiled for myself. Fraser said 1-0 Chelsea. Schick with the brace. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Arteta, listen to me, lad. Arteta, listen to me. Pulisic does well. Drives into some space, and that's a foul there by the Wolves defender. I think it was Connor Cody, actually, who managed to get his body in the way. Sorry, it was Ruben Neves and Connor Cody who got themselves in the way. Bundesliga tax is hefty, Sam. We'll wait and see, won't we, Wiki? We'll wait and see. Reece James with an opportunity here to whip in a ball. Come on, Chelsea. Let's give me a reason to sing and shout. Give me something to get hyped about. I'm just rhyming now. Reece James! Oh my gosh, that was so clever from Reece James. So clever, and it was just wide. He noticed the keeper take a step to his right, and instead of going across the box, he went for almost like a Ronaldinho-esque catch him off guard at the near post, and just so wide, so close to being in. Oh my God, I don't know why I said so wide, so close to not going wide. It just clips the outside of the post and goes out. Very clever from Reece James, very clever. So clever from Reece James, that. I tell you what. Reece James has the most goals by any defender in the competition this season, which is kind of mental. Obviously, you'd expect him to be up there usually anyway, but it's more mental because he missed out at least 3 months of the season, which is pretty strange in itself. Here go Wolves down the left-hand side. Pedro Neto pulls it back, looking for Raul Jimenez. Comes out, though, to Nuri. Nuri's going to cut in on his right foot. Ooh, high, wide, and always rising there from Nuri. But it was good effort from the lad. I was getting throwbacks to, who was the Dutch left-back who scored a worldie against Liverpool for... Newcastle. Damn it, that just left my head there. The Dutch fullback who scored a worldie against Newcastle. There you go, Aaron. Aaron, you're just my source of information today. Who have you gone with? Aaron Hughes. Oh, active Aaron. He knows another Aaron when there's one to find. What a shout that is, Aaron. What a shout that is. That is correct, by the way, for the halftime game. Lovely stuff, Aaron. Lovely stuff. It's really annoying me. Who is that left back who scored against Liverpool for Newcastle United? It was absolute worldie in the top right hand corner at Anfield as well. I can't remember. Now. Well, that was what the vibe that Nuri was giving me there as he cut in on that weaker foot of his, and I saw it cannoning towards that top corner. Definitely for me so far. Villa have scored again. Villa are on fire. Who is it? Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins has scored. Is he in with a shout for England? Is he in with a shout? Jetro Williams. That's who it is. Jetro Williams. Thank you, Aaron. That was going to bug me. Just fact checking with Aaron. Bad injury, still a free agent, I think. Oh, that's not good to hear. Not good to hear. Clearly a bit of a player in there, but unfortunate. João Moutinho. What a player João Moutinho is. I tell you what, when he signed for Wolves, we were like, oh, he's a bit old. Like, I don't mean that nastily, but like for a footballer to be just moving into the Premier League, we were like, there's a bit of a gamble in it, but how wrong could, I think the whole generation could be, how wrong could they be? It's been a great signing, a really good signing. And they've done well as well, because like, it sounds stupid, but buying the Portuguese players, obviously they have that chemistry, they know how to play with each other, they've played with each other at youth levels or whatever, and so it does help. It automatically brings that, and being able to speak to people as well when you come to a new country, and having a lot of people there able to nurture and guide you, and even having, you know, a Mexican, Raul Jimenez as well, people who speak similar if not the same languages, very helpful for conversing. Romelu Lukaku does well there though. He's appealing for a penalty. He was desperately appealing for a penalty there, Romelu Lukaku. Afternoon to June. Afternoon, June. How are you? Hope you're okay. Hope you are okay. I remember his first game, Bruce didn't tell him what position he was playing. Really? Oh, God. Oh, God. Let's watch this from Romelu Lukaku again then. So, Lukaku. Ooh, Roman Saiss needs to be careful there. He's... It's a tangle of legs, most certainly. But, like, Lukaku bullies him off the ball, and then he goes to stick his leg out to clear the ball and trips up Lukaku. I would not be surprised if this is a penalty. I tell you what, I would not be surprised one bit if this is a penalty. Because you can't do that. You cannot. Lukaku's done well. He's got the ball away, and then he's kicked Lukaku's leg as he's about to try and step over him. Roman Saiss, for me, needs to be more physical. Yes, it's Lukaku. But this is the second time now where VAR could have introduced something. You've got some sunshine, have you, June? Blimey, we've not got that in Huddersfield. I'll tell you what, enjoy the sunshine, June. Enjoy it. I think that's a penalty. I don't think there's much contact, but if you're swinging your legs about like that, having just made a tackle, Lukaku's already off balance anyway because he has to jump over you. It depends on where is the contact in the box. Oh, he's going to go to the... He's going to the monitor, ladies and gents. He's going to the monitor. Oh, this is what we should do in stadiums when they go to the monitor. It's just, oh. Let's see. Usually when they go to the monitor, though, it is usually a call for the referee to change his opinion. So is that a good thing? I don't know. I'm so nervous for this. We keep rewatching it, and the referee's given a penalty. It's a penalty for Chelsea. Now, who takes this penalty? Who takes this penalty for Chelsea? Definite penalty. I mean, they deserved a penalty. If not, they deserved the first goal from Roman Saiss anyway. He needs to be more physical. I'm telling you that now. He needs to be more physical. But I'm not sure who takes this penalty for Chelsea. Is it Lukaku? Is it Werner? I don't think Roman Saiss has a complaint whatsoever. It's going to be Lukaku to take this penalty for Chelsea. Going to be Romelu Lukaku. Thank you to Puffy2000 who has just subscribed as well. Thank you very, very much. We're 11 away now from the magic 700. Todd Bowley watching on. Is this going to be the first goal of his new era? We've had it 3 times now, and we thought we'd got a different one each time. Romelu Lukaku with Jorginho and Mason Mount off the pitch. The honour falls to Romelu Lukaku against Jose Sarr. The Belgian striker Romelu. Will he get me singing? Will he get me singing? Romelu Lukaku against Jose Sarr. There we go. There we go. Finally, Chelsea get the lead. And like I say, Chelsea could be 3-0 up at this current moment in time if decisions had gone differently. June says shouldn't have been a penalty. Maybe so, maybe so. But I think for me, that is retribution for the fact that earlier on, Timo Werner was deemed to have fouled Roman Saiss, and it wasn't at all for me, and he scored from it, Timo Werner. It's a great penalty from Romelu Lukaku, calm as you like, and maybe he might be able to find himself on the penalties a bit more often, but Romelu Lukaku gets Chelsea's noses in front, and it's great to see him back on the score sheet. Hopefully he can get himself a one more in this game from open play. That would be absolutely fantastic if we could see Chelsea really kick on and get a few goals for Werner and Romelu Lukaku. Probably unrealistic for me to suggest that, but a lovely, lovely finish from Romelu Lukaku in the 55th minute. Oh, here goes Werner. Werner's through. Oh, Werner's put it over. I don't know if that's good defensive play by a Wolves player in there. I don't know if there was. It was a bit clumsy the way it got through to Timo Werner. A few players trying to tackle each other. I'm not sure if that takes a deflection. I think it's just a poor finish from Werner in the end. We'll see it better from that way. Yeah, it's just a poor finish. I think he's hit the wrong part of his foot. He's tried to miss the tackle of the sliding defender, but unfortunately, in doing so, he's just sort of spanned it wide. But Chelsea definitely don't look done, and they're putting Wolves under pressure constantly here. And with the crowd at Stamford Bridge as well, they're definitely going to want to try and do that. And try and make Chelsea into a little bit of a fortress. It's maybe not been that this season. It's not been the fortress that it has once been in previous years. But the Chelsea fans now, loud and in voice, and Todd Bowley will be pleased to have seen his first goal in his first game, and Pulisic rolls through. Romelu Lukaku! What a finish that is from Romelu! Pick that one out! Pick that one out! Romelu Lukaku! That is vintage Romelu Lukaku. Romelu, the Belgian striker, Romelu. That is vintage Lukaku. Brilliant finish. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant finish from Romelu Lukaku, and he's made it too. And that's what we've been missing all season, that clinical eye in front of goal. Clinical eye there from Lukaku on his right foot, bends it into that bottom corner. I don't know where the marking was, the man marking from Wolves. I must say, it's poor defensive play once again. The ball's given away to Christian Pulisic at the edge of the box. He's able to spin Connor Cody, and once he's in behind Connor Cody, really you don't expect Connor Cody to get himself back in. But 2 goals in 2 minutes for Romelu Lukaku, and that is better from him. That is better from him, I must say. That is much, much better from him, because we haven't seen enough of that this season. We have not seen enough of that this season from Romelu. He needs to be doing more of it. He needs to be doing more of it. His 7th goal in the Premier League this season. Of course, he'd only scored 5 before today. So he is now level with Kai Havertz on goals for Chelsea in 2nd, and has overtaken Jorginho as the 3rd top goal scorer. So joint 2nd top goal scorer now. Maybe if he can get himself another 3, he'll be tied top goal scorer with Mason Mount. Admittedly, that would be absolutely mental if that was the case. Oh, thank God. Thank God. Romelu Lukaku finally comes up clutch. Finally comes up clutch. Fraser put, 1-0. Stay 1-0. No! That was the quickest turnaround I think I've ever seen from someone. Proper U-turn, that one. Pulisic into Lukaku. There might be another one here. Christian Pulisic. Oh, good defensive play there by Connor Cody. It's really opened him up like this defence now. The game's completely open now. Lukaku looks full of confidence, so does Christian Pulisic as well. It's great play there by Lukaku to drop him back in. Really, really good. It's clear Lukaku has been pacing himself. New contract incoming. Yeah, he's going to leave it to the final 3 games of the season. Then everyone will be like, he's not a flop. He scored 12 goals this season. And I will be like, no. Reece James whips in a corner. It's headed down by Thiago Silva into the back of a Wolves player. Bit of head tennis there as it falls at the edge of the box there to Reece James. Reece James spreads it out wide towards Rudiger. Rudiger finds Thiago Silva. I've just remembered, I don't know if I did my fantasy team. This week. I know I've got Reece James in. But I don't know if I did my fantasy team so far. I've got loads of players in a double game week, which should be a nice, relaxing thing in that sense. Let's have a look. I'd have it. Oh God, that substitution's not helped me. That substitution has not helped me one bit. Oh, nearly dropped my phone. My 3-1, not a terrible shout after all. I know. I told you. Football changes weirdly, doesn't it, Curve? Doesn't it? It's a good job you're a betting man. But yeah, it's like I say, it can change so quickly. And you know, Romelu Lukaku now looks full of confidence as Thiago Silva carries the ball out, bit clumsy, tackled by João Moutinho. And Wolves get themselves on the ball. They need to just relax and calm things down a little bit now, Wolves. They need to relax and calm things down because it's a little bit all crazy. It's very crazy for Wolves at the moment. You know, that 5 minutes ago we're talking about a team that's roaring, and then all of a sudden a penalty, a quick fire response again, and unbelievable. He's turned it round in this game. He has. Like I say, he took 11 touches in that first half, and now he's taken 2 in the second half, and they've gone and found the back of the net, and a third one which nearly set up Christian Pulisic as well. So the more you know, the more you know with Thomas Tuchel and Romelu Lukaku. There's a weird relationship they've got going on at the moment. As Raul Jimenez pulls one in towards that back post, headed clear by Reece James. Really good defensive awareness there to realise that Pedro Neto was right behind him. But see how much better he looks with the space in behind. Exactly. He looks so much better. And Curve missed both goals. The first one was a penalty. June thinks it wasn't a penalty. I think it was. Sainz? Not Carlos Sainz. Roman Sainz, if I can get his name out, rather than saying Sainz, as the corner comes in for Wolves here. Headed back in by Moutinho and cleared by Mateo Kovacic. It was... Basically, there was a shove from Romelu Lukaku. He shoulder barges him to the floor, and it's really weak from Roman Sainz, who should do better. But then once he's on the floor, Roman Sainz, Lukaku tries to get past him. And whilst you might think off the top of your head, you might go, yeah, just you know, you've got to try tackle. I think in that situation, he has to let him go, because what he's done is he's kicked Lukaku, as Lukaku's already going to be stumbling and already falling anyway from the initial contact between the two of them. So it's just a bit one of those where it's like, it's that experience, that knowledge of the situation, and Lukaku obviously, yes, he goes over it, and you could argue he makes the most of it, but for me that's justification for that Timo Werner Roman Sainz thing earlier. The second goal was a class act, a class finish, rolled in by Christian Pulisic, I believe, and as Christian Pulisic rolled it in, he just managed to roll away from Conor Cody, who rolled it into that bottom corner, and really good finish. I've never thought a good player becomes bad over a season. Lukaku is a powerful player with limited skill. Ooh. I think he's got an eye for goal, but in terms of like build-up play, technical ability, I'm not sure if it's there. I'm not going to lie to you. Let's check the scores on the doors elsewhere. Leverkusen ended up winning 4-2. Patrick Schick getting himself a... it was such a weird notification I've just had on my phone from TikTok. Patrick Schick got himself a nice brace. Let's have a look at the Premier League games as we are going on. It's still 3-0 to Aston Villa, still 1-0 at Crystal Palace as well. The goal coming from a penalty from Wilfred Zaha in that game. The scorers for Villa, Ings, Buendia and Watkins, and of course for Brentford as well, Janssen and Visa, the 2 quickest goals of the game so far, both coming, getting quickest goals of the day, should I say. Both coming in that game. Well, that is the breakdown for you. That is the breakdown for you. We're just waiting for Roman Saiz to get himself back up. I think he overstretched as he was trying to... I think he went to nutmeg Christian Pulisic, and he did nutmeg Christian Pulisic, and then the other Chelsea defender, can't remember who it was, came over. And I think Roman Saiz has just overstretched himself just a little bit. Hwang Hee-chan was warming up for Wolves, who were looking at their 6th loss in their last 5 games. Their 5th loss in their last 6 games. If I can get that out, that would be helpful. Lukaku was always this bad, but he played in a counter-attacking team, so he had more space to run into it, and he wasn't the lone striker. I mean, you saw it last season up front with Lautaro Martinez. He scored 30 goals in a season. That'll tell you what you need to know. I don't think he works as a lone striker. I can't remember who he played up front with Everton though. I think he had more of a lone role, if you know what I mean. But even when you look at Belgium, they quite frequently will play a winger up there with him, so he can play alongside and play with, and they can play off each other, if you know what I mean. So there's that as well. He's an interesting player, isn't it? He's got 19 in the league. I was checking out Lautaro Martinez earlier, actually. I was looking at his stats because Inter have gone back at the top of the Serie A title, albeit with Milan having a game in hand over them. But yeah, I was looking at it earlier. I was like 19 goals, and I think Dzeko's on 13. I remember actually the owner, maybe one of the coaches at Inter Milan actually said that they prefer Edin Dzeko, and he is, considering they got him really cheap, I do believe, maybe even free. They were like, we've just saved ourselves £100 million here. We've got 100 million, and then also got Edin Dzeko in it as well. You can see Lautaro is a beast, most certainly. Yeah. Everton were counter-attacking. Belgium have people to feed it. Chelsea don't create enough. And that's the difference, Wiki, you're right, that is the difference. Good player from Chelsea. Pulisic tries to slot in Timo Werner. I've been impressed though with Christian Pulisic in this number 10 role. Maybe there is a future for Christian Pulisic at Chelsea Football Club. We've not seen the best of Christian Pulisic for long periods of time, but maybe this number 10 role, maybe it could suit him. I'm sure he'll have stern competition though from Mason Mount, who, like we say, maybe doesn't suit. I think he suits the number 8 role a little bit better, Mason Mount. That opportunity to, because he works so hard. I think that's his best attribute, Mason Mount, is that work rate going forward and going backwards. So I think maybe that role maybe a little bit vacant at the moment. Maybe they're going to eye up a return for Eden Hazard over the summer. Maybe that's what they're doing. Right, Hwang Hee-chan, I think he's coming on. He keeps looking back at the bench. He's been trying to come on for at least 3 minutes now, Hwang Hee-chan. But I don't quite know why he's not come on yet. I think it's the 4th official who is like spending his time faffing around. Maybe they got the wrong number. I don't know who they're going to take off. Because personally, for me, out of the front two, I would take off Raul Jimenez. Jimenez has been a bit quieter, but I guess he's the main man, isn't he? Really, in front of goal. Oh, that's a great ball in behind. Werner into some space. Can he see Pulisic at the edge of the box? Oh, Werner, that was the wrong decision. That was really the wrong decision. He had Pulisic and Lukaku at the edge of the box. Not sure it's Pulisic is a number 10, but it's good that he's so close to the other forwards rather than being segregated on the wing. Yeah, he just seems to have a bit more confidence in this game, being close to people, as Alonso tries to whip one in towards the head of Aspilicueta, of all people, and it's gone behind for a Wolves goal kick. Would Dzeko suit Arsenal? I don't watch much football these days. If you could get him on a free, then I think he would be a useful player to have. But yeah, just like Wookie says there, Dzeko would be a good option, but he's too old for the intensity of the Prem. Weghorst is a similar profile player. I think he'd be a good backup. I think would Edin Dzeko, but I don't think he wants to be. But especially with the creativity that Arsenal have and the goals that they have from deep, might actually be a good player to have. Roman Saiss is now coming off as well. Not a good day at the office for him. Bullied off one that he fortunately got away with, then concedes a penalty, then gets injured. Not a good day at the office for the Moroccan, and I'm sure that will be one to forget for him. Gets himself 70 minutes of football though, and who is coming home for him? Let's see who's coming home for him. Can I see? Are you going to tell me the graphics or anything? Unfortunately, I don't recognise all the Wolves youngsters, and I'm not on a first-name basis with anyone like that. I don't even know who came on for Hwang Hee-chan. I think it was Pedro Neto. Hwang is on as well. Yeah, it is Pedro Neto. Oh, that's really good play there. Here is Raul Jimenez. I'm going to have to check the substitute here. But Wolves have given the ball away. Let's see what it is. Chiquinho has come on for Roman Saiss. And Chiquinho is a winger. So it looks like Wolves are going to settle and that they are going to try and push in the latter stages of this game to try and get themselves a goal. That's a very aggressive substitution to make. Maybe we'll see a 4 at the back with maybe more of a 4-3-3. I think that'll be how it sets up now for Wolves, as Chiquinho does come on for Roman Saiss. So that looks like it should be the way that they'll play, and maybe try overload those Chelsea centre halves, of course, 3-on-3 at the back. Maybe try hit him in transition when Reece James and Marcus Alonso are out of position. As Nuri, does he give away a foul there? Yes, he does. He definitely does give away a foul there on Azpilicueta. Not too late, but not the greatest of tackles we've seen. Don't know why my phone's just decided to do a load of updates just as I was about to see how many likes we're on. But if you haven't already, guys, do be sure to smash that like button for us and do hit subscribe as well. Good to see the Chelsea fans in a good mood. It's been a few weeks really, hasn't it, since we've been in a good mood. Been a few weeks really. And it just takes that little bit of pressure off us with Arsenal still to play this weekend. Just takes that little bit of pressure off us that we were starting to come under a little bit of pressure realistically. I think that's the easiest way to say it. We were starting to come under a little bit of pressure because, you know, the performance haven't been good enough. They haven't been good enough over the last few weeks, and we were starting to see ourselves slip slowly but surely into that Champions League battle. But today will be a good one. You know, we've got that game against Leeds in midweek that you would expect. Chelsea, admittedly, last time we did play Leeds, we made it look a bit harder than it should have been. But, you know, it's never the easiest of games to play Leeds, especially now that they're in the relegation dogfight as well. So this is a big 3 points for Chelsea to get, though, just to give themselves a little bit of space. And Hwang Hee-chan, oh my God, what a save that is from Edouard Mendy. Phenomenal, phenomenal save that is from Mendy. Made himself big. Hwang Hee-chan in the box there, free as a bird, and he's done really well. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who's been quiet, is just all of a sudden picked up the ball and decided to run with it. Here's Romelu Lukaku. Oh, his first touch is poor, and then he's just accidentally caught a Wolves player in the face as he tried to defend that. Ruben Loftus-Cheek again there. It falls to Mateo Kovacic. Kovacic, can he finish? Oh, what a save! Brilliant save. I think Kovacic should do better there. I think he should aim for a corner, but Jose Sarr, man. Jose Sarr, how many opportunities has he saved so far today? How many? It's a great run from Kovacic. He just skips by him. The Wolves defence has opened up, parted like the Red Sea, and really, really good opportunity for Kovacic and a great save by Jose Sarr as we watch that opportunity for Hwang Hee-chan. It could have completely changed there. Could have completely changed the game there with an instant impact substitution goal from Hwang. But Ruben Loftus-Cheek was the man who moved it up nice and fast up the field. Really, really impressive. My watch is telling me to get moving. Shut up. Shut up, watch. There's Ruben. I keep doing that now. It was Ruben Neves who was running through, but I meant to say Raul. There's too many R's, I'm telling you. Too many R's. And there's Reece. Reece James getting onto the ball. Wolves, they're hitting on the break quite a lot here, Wolves, there. But they're not being able to do anything with it, and I think they need to be more clinical, don't they? They definitely need to be more clinical at this moment in time. Played up the field by Edouard Mendy. Here's Willy Bolly, who intercepts it. Into Johnny, who finds Shaquinho. Chelsea win the ball back there. Really well played, actually. And the ball's going to be switched out towards Azpilicueta. Hwang nearly gets a touch on it, but it falls its way to Christian Pulisic. And now Pulisic is driving at these Wolves defenders. That's not where you want him if you're a Wolves defender. Pulls it to Lukaku. I thought that was going to fall for Werner. The initial pass, though, from Pulisic. He's just played Lukaku a little bit too wide there. And he was running himself down a corner, really, at that point. Points wrapped for Chelsea. Going to qualify for foot challenge, says Wiki. Fair enough, lad. Enjoy. I don't know if it is quite wrapped up at the moment. Points wrapped up at the moment. There's Ruben Neves. Comes off for Trincao. Oh, God. Trincao, of course, did the reverse move of Adama Traore from Barcelona to Wolves. There's a much improved second half from Chelsea, I must say. I know, obviously, the goals both came in quick succession, but even since those two goals, it's been much better from Chelsea. They look creative. Of course, Wolves have had to come out and they've had to step out, and the gaps have occurred because of that. But it's just been much better. I know there's still, a lot of creativity issues in this team, but it just looks, in the second half particularly, like they're actually wanting to do something. Trincao coming on means they've now got 4 wingers on, which I didn't really pay attention to when he came on there, which is pretty phenomenal. 3-0 to Brentford as well, so Brentford look like they've got the points wrapped up around their fingers, and they do anything for your love now. But when you touch it, the feeling lingers. A little bit of Ollie Mers for the day. Clearly I'm a bigger Ollie Mers fan than I thought. 13 minutes left on the clock. Fraser, what are you getting wound up about? Fraser? As it stands in League 2, Forest Green are champions. Mansfield have taken the league off Forest Green now. Cool, they're having a bit of drama there. Loftus-Cheek, can he see Pulisic? He can. The ball's a little bit wide. Azpilicueta might be able to get up. Here is Christian Pulisic. Pulisic cuts back on his left foot, rolls it back to Werner. Oh, I think the opportunity's gone. Werner keeps the ball, though. Timo Werner looks to go to the byline, whips it across that box. There was Azpilicueta in there. The pass again, the final third pass. Just overhit, took him too far wide there. Here you go. Wolves once again. But this other end up to on the counter-attack. Here's Trincao. Trincao! Oh, what a finish that is from Trincao! A brilliant finish into that top left corner. And it's Chelsea 2, Wolves 1. Easy as you like from Trincao. Poor defending from Chelsea. They've been hit on the counter-attack instantly there. Hit on the counter-attack so easily. Chelsea look like they've taken their eye off the game. Maybe bringing on 4 wingers was maybe a good thing. It's a good run from Trincao. He cuts in nicely. No Chelsea player covers him and tries to cut the play out. And, I mean, that's easy, isn't it, really, for Trincao? It's a great finish. Don't get me wrong. Like, don't take anything away from the finish. But it's way too easy for Trincao. Way too easy. Really, really poor. I'm very, very surprised that Chelsea have let him run that far there, Trincao, if I can spell his name correctly. I think I've spelled it right. Yeah, it is right. But curved. You're 3-1. He's looking ever so close. Ever so close. Thomas Tuchel will be fuming at that. I know he will be. I know he will be. It's classic Chelsea to do it to someone. Oh, God, here goes Hwang. Hwang into Jimenez. Back into... Oh, my gosh, is that a penalty? Hwang Hee-chan appeals for a penalty. Oh, it's all kicking off here. Rudiger wasn't pleased with Hwang Hee-chan for his... he believes it was a dive. Oh, I don't think that is. That might be Chelsea bias there, but I think he's gone down too easily. Too easily. I think he realises the ball's a bit heavy for Hwang Hee-chan and he goes down. But Wolves have the wind in their sails now. And it's won back by Nuri. Here is Hwang again, who drops it into Trincao. Trincao has Chiquinho outside of him. Chiquinho looks to clip one in. It's headed clear by Rudiger. This has just changed so quickly. So quickly. I can't believe it's changed that quickly. Monumental. Chiquinho tries to whip it in. Cleared by Rudiger. He goes back out towards Chiquinho. Saul, who snuck on, who I didn't even realise has snuck on. Clears the ball up. I didn't even see Saul come on. Oh my God, this is going to be a long 10 minutes. This is going to be a long 10 minutes, and the Wolves fans are trying to get behind their team, their team are shooting towards the Wolves fans as well. Come on, Chelsea, let's up it. Let's up it. Don't sit back. Don't let them bring it to us. Connor Cody rolls it out to Trincao. Trincao drops it into Johnny. Back into Trincao once again. Tackled by Rudiger, though. It's nicked back by Kovacic once again. And Connor Cody gives away a foul on Timo Werner, and that'll give Chelsea just the respite that they need at this moment. They're going to get themselves in trouble at this rate. They're going to get themselves in trouble, I tell you what. It's very hectic from the Chelsea Blue. Very hectic. And Scunthorpe United are going out in style by losing 6-0 to Bristol Rovers. Bloody hell. Bloody hell, what an awful season that is for Scunthorpe United. Awful season. How many points adrift is that? 18 points adrift at the bottom. And that's one of the first times as well they've been out of a thingy. Which is mental. Out of the Football League. Might be the first time actually. Loftus-Cheek finds Saul into Pulisic. Pulisic. The game is really open though at this current moment in time. Here's Aspilicueta into Christian Pulisic again. Lukaku now out on that right hand side. He tries a little bit of fancy skill. Nuri able to block that one off, as it were. Oh God, this is getting nail biting. Thomas Tuchel writing down all that he sees, all the information he needs. We've got 7 minutes time at the end of this game. Pulisic tackled by Willy Bolly. Is there an opportunity for the counter? Moutinho, that was delicious ball out wide there to Trincao, who manages to get the ball down and keep it away from Rudiger. Lovely 1-2 there with Johnny. Trincao finds Moutinho again. Here's Willy Bolly. Bolly cuts back on himself, drops it into Johnny. They look full of confidence, Wolves, all of a sudden. That goal has just given them the injection that they clearly needed for the most of this game. Here's Hwang Hee-chan going down this left-hand side. Looks to pull one back, looking for Nuri, and it's defended eventually by Thiago Silva. I can't do this. I can't do this. We need to be wrapping up games like this. We need to be wrapping up games like this, honestly. Dendoncker drops it into Moutinho once again. Moutinho, lovely flick. Oh my God, Trincao might be in. Trincao! Trincao! Oh, he's put it wide! Brilliant defending from Thiago Silva. He's put it wide. I think he takes a deflection off the Brazilian on the way through. But it's so easy for Wolves, and it's an excellent piece of play as well. Thiago Silva first misses the tackle, but the second tackle makes up for it. Oh my gosh, Trincao has been an inspired substitution thus far. Corner for Wolves. God, this is nail-biting stuff. Headed clear at the front post by Azpilicueta. Werner's going to put the afterburners on to try and win the ball back from Chelsea. But Wolves win the ball back. Nuri, can he launch one forward? He does. Headed this time by Christian Pulisic, who's underneath it. Chiquinho trying to put the press on. Saul. Chiquinho whips the ball in. Goes all the way over to the other side. Here is Nuri. Nuri finds Hwang. Hwang sees Jimenez on the edge of the box, who tries to drop it in. It might fall to Jimenez! Oh my gosh! So close from Raul Jimenez. So close. Chelsea need to book their ideas up. I don't know what's going on. Yes, Wolves are getting their fortune, but they're playing well. I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what's going on. They're making life hard for themselves. Finally, a change that might actually help them as Malang Sarr comes on for Azpilicueta. Come on, Chelsea. Thomas Tuchel giving his marching orders to Kovacic, telling him what he needs to do, what he needs to change this game potentially. Been so sloppy. Chiquinho on that right hand side has been absolutely amazing since he's come on. I don't know if it's because Saul's playing at that left wing back role. I don't know. But he's been skipping past him here. Right, Malang Sarr's on for Azpilicueta. Should be back underway shortly. Chelsea they need Lukaku now to get the ball, hold it up, keep it there. Reece James looks long, looking for Lukaku. Willy Bolly's gone over to actually deal with Romelu Lukaku. Flip round the corner by Hwang. Is there a foul in there by Thiago Silva? Nuri's done well, really well played by Nuri, who looks full of confidence as well now. João Moutinho picks up the ball, rolls it out to... oh my God, I nearly said outright to Trincao. Chelsea might be able to counter-attack here, led by Timo Werner, who's going to go straight past Connor Cody, but it's excellent play by Willy Bolly to cover his captain, and it's still very open as Jimenez looks to spread the play out wide. Very open. Chiquinho causing all kinds of problems down that right-hand side for Chelsea. They need to try hit on the counter-attack themselves. They need to stop the attacks from Wolves, though. That is the problem. And it's gone from being a very good second half for Chelsea for the same problems reoccurring. But Chelsea can't keep the momentum on. Oh, blimey. Don't know, I feel tired all of a sudden. Havertz is going to come on, so I will get myself one fantasy football point. Go on! Reece James into Lukaku, finds Christian Pulisic. Pulisic has a bit of green grass to run into if he can find it. Johnny's done well actually there, and Dendoncker sweeps up. Does he? He's putting himself under pressure here. Leandro Dendoncker. He then plays it back to Jose Sarr, who sits down. Oh, Timo Werner. Knocks one forward to Nuri. Nuri switches it out wide, looking for Chiquinho, but that's a poor ball, and Malang Sarr is able to see that one out. If you are enjoying, guys, as always, do be sure to smash that like button and do hit subscribe if you are new to the Sam Redgate-Large channel. We might have another live stream coming tomorrow, of course, but we do have the F1 that will be live streamed tomorrow as Romelu Lukaku is making way for Kai Havertz. Oh, baby, do you know what he's worth? Kai Havertz is the best on earth. Oh, they've opted to wait until the ball goes out next time. So that's sing-song I've just had. Completely pointless. Oh well. João Moutinho whips it out wide to Nuri once again. They don't look done at all. Win still in their hair, blowing through their hair. They're enjoying it at the moment, but they need to get themselves a goal. They've had so many opportunities, Wolves. And I think they'll be disappointed if they don't come away with some points. Chiquinho out on that right hand side, whipped in towards Hwang, and that'll go through to Edouard Mendy, who will take his time and flop on the ball. And there's been a goal for Burnley as Maxwell Cornet gets themselves a nice consolation goal at the end of the game. Ooh, I'd love for Curve's 3-1 to prediction to come good here for us. I'm not gonna lie. I'd love for the prediction to come through. And Max is still in the chat. We got 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Oh, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. 6 minutes of added time. Oh man. Creeper. Oh man. Romelu Lukaku comes off. And on comes Kai Havertz. Fergie time. It's typical, isn't it, really, that Wiki went, oh, I'm going to go play foot champs. Chelsea have got the points in the bag. And then all of a sudden, there's nothing to suggest that Wolves will suddenly score 2. I'm blaming this all on Wiki. All this pressure. Points wrapped up for Chelsea is what Curves Wiki said, sorry. Typical. Reece James pings one in towards Saul. The headed ball there easily cleared, and Leandro Dendoncker is going to put some pressure on Malang Sarr. Ruben Loftus-Cheek gets his foot in the way. Loftus-Cheek has had a good game as well. Wiki's decided to come back. Typical. I'm blaming it all on Wiki. It's all Wiki's fault, I tell you what. Connor Cody into Willy Bolly. Kai Havertz, we need a good work rate from him to stop the balls from coming in from those defenders. Reece James drops it into Havertz. I'd love a combination of those two to score. Reece James finds Pulisic, back into Havertz. Havertz, is he going to shoot? Havertz! Oh, he goes front post, and all he succeeds there is hitting the steward behind the goal. That's all he succeeded in doing there. Not a good finish there from the German. I thought he was going to look up and roll it across to Timo Werner. There was a couple of players in there with Turbo, though. Couldn't quite get on it. My respect for Wiki, says Fraser. He's the man with the golden touch, apparently. Wiki Ticky. Don't know what's going on here. I think it's Hwang who's gone down there. He just completely went down off the ball. I'm sure we'll see a replay. Obviously dependent on how bad it is. He looked like he was in a lot of pain when he was rolling around on the floor. Oh, it's just from that contact as Reece James nicked the ball. I think it's just the stud to the foot. But to be honest with you, I'm quite surprised that they've paused it there. Hwang Yi-chan there. He's absolutely fine. It's just a stud to the foot. He looked like he was rolling around on the floor as if he'd, just been shot, and then all of a sudden he was absolutely fine. And I'm quite surprised they've paused the game here. And I think Wolves will be annoyed that he didn't get himself back onto his feet if it wasn't serious, because it's just wasted 45 seconds of their own time. It has wasted 45 seconds of their own time. Curves puts Wiki. Absolutely. He's putting the pressure on us, Wiki is. Trincao tries to get the ball. It's well read though by Kovacic. Drops it into Pulisic. Pulisic, lovely chip over the top there. Chiquinho's trying to get back, and he's just got the legs there on Christian Pulisic. Just quicker at this moment in time. Of course, the substitute, you'd expect it. I'm not having much luck either, mate. Lol. It's a shame you can't do this when you... It's a shame you don't do this when Arsenal are playing and go, oh yeah, it looks like the points are wrapped up. Arsenal, they're going to lose, and then all of a sudden, the other team's going to turn it on. Havertz gets the ball down, drops it into Saul. For some reason then when I saw Saul's kit number, I just thought Pedro. I'm not quite sure. Chelsea are just really doing the gamesmanship now. Really doing the gamesmanship. Must be so frustrating for Wolves fans. I can't watch Arsenal like that. Wolves tried to take that free kick quickly there. The referees just pulled them back for it. They make me nervous every week. I know. I sometimes I prefer being a neutral. I really do. Ball whipped in here by Wolves. Is that going to fall to the edge of the box to Hwang? He's been pressed though by Kovacic. Here goes Kovacic. He might be able to see Werner. Can Pulisic see Werner? Can someone see Werner? He's bloody onside. Kick him it. Thank you. Werner up the left hand side. Tries to get himself past Dendoncker now. They've taken too long. All you had to do was see Werner. He was so far onside as well there. Werner. Pulisic decided to turn and go backwards. Like, just play it forward, man. Just play it forward, lad. Forest Green are the champions of the League 2. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to them, of course. Good to see him in League 1 next season. Scunthorpe, of course, have been relegated from. Not good. Not good for the Lincolnshire sides. Chelsea are going to try and hold the ball in the corner here. As Havertz keeps the ball where he wants it. They haven't got long now, Wolves. They need to worry it up if they're going to try and get themselves a goal. We've had 6 minutes now. We have had the 6 minutes and we're still playing. Come on, Chelsea, don't lose it now. Havertz tries to win it back. Connor Cody puts it into Willy Bolly. Nori lofts it forward. Is this an opportunity for Wolves? It might fall to Leandro Dendoncker. It goes out right to Trincao. Whipped in by Chiquinho. Chiquinho, oh my God. Oh my... Are you kidding me? What is wrong with this team? What is wrong with this team? Wolves have been the better side for 11 minutes. 11 minutes. 11 minutes. Wolves have been the better team. And we've crumbled again. Are you kidding me? Are we a charity or something? Do we just give everyone else what they want? What is this? What is this? Bloody hell, Arsenal, come take this third place. We might as well just give it to you. Are we forgetting we've got stuff to play for? Are we forgetting this? Are you kidding me? Honestly, after today, I wouldn't be surprised if Todd Bowley sells the club. I tell you what. How have you done this? Connor Cody is the man who scored, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that. It was a good ball in by Chiquinho, who's been good, like I say, since he's come off the bench. But what are Chelsea doing, man? Why does Chiquinho have all that space? Saul, for some reason, is stood marking Trincao in the middle, even though his man is whipping across him. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, seriously? How do you not know? How do you not know where to play? Why did we take off Marcus Alonso for that piece of utter crap at left back? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Why is he even there? Why is he even there? I don't even know why Saul's there, and that's it. That's full time. I don't know why Saul's there. I don't know why Saul is there. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. That's where it's come from. How have we bottled that? How have we bottled it again? How have we bottled it again? I don't understand. But like I say, Chelsea, the better side for the good part of 78 minutes there. 78 minutes there. And you're kidding me? You've got to be kidding me. When are we going to learn from these mistakes? It's constantly the same. It's constantly the same. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I just don't get what this Chelsea side has at the moment. What's going on with them? There's so many things that are going wrong for Chelsea at the minute, and I just don't get it. I don't get it one bit. And at 2-0 up, it is definitely 2 points lost rather than 1 point gains. That's 1 point gains there for Wolves. That is 1 point gains there. I've totally even I don't even want to change the score because, you know, they don't deserve it. They don't, over the course of the 90, they don't deserve it. Chelsea should have had, Werner's goal should have stood as well, so it should have been 3-0. I just can't get my head around it. I can't get my head around it. At least you're not United, said Yusuf, only came in for the reaction. I mean, they added extra time on for that Hwang Hee-chan, which is why they played 7 minutes. I'm coming to the end of my tolerance with this Chelsea side. How can we make the same damn mistakes in this game? How can we make the same damn mistakes and not make any changes? I don't understand. How can you keep doing it to... The definition of madness or insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. And Chelsea do the same thing week in, week out. We change too much. We make too many substitutions. Why we've brought on Saul when he hasn't played well all season, I don't know. I really don't know why we've brought Saul on. Why would we bring Saul on? I don't... You might as well have played me at left back there because there was no one there. There was no one there when that ball was whipped in by Chiquinho. He had all the time in the world to whip that ball in and find Conor Cody's head and put in a decent ball. I don't get it. I really don't get it. At least we're still, even if Arsenal win, we're still a point ahead of them. So, real Tom, I'd quieten down just a little bit, mate, until you've... well, you can quiet down until you've won a Champions League, really. And then you can quiet down again until you've won 2 Champions Leagues. But you are still a point behind, mate. You are still a point behind. So, nice. But either way, that is the most frustrating way to lose it. Because, don't get me wrong, Bruno Lage deserves credit where credit's due, because those substitutions that came on were inspired. They were really, really good. Chiquinho, Trincao were both really good when they came on, and the changing formation as well really helped. Hwang was looking like he was causing some problems as well. So credit where credit's due. But Chelsea are being, and I use this, I tell you what, I should get a 20p Joe, and every time I use this phrase, I should put 20p in. Because I tell you what, come the end of the season, I would have tons of money in there. Chelsea are the catalysts of their own downfall. Once again, being hit on the counter-attack and just not being able to defend well and not having the right attitude to spend however many minutes ahead, and then when the tough gets going, and, you know, when the tough gets going, to actually put your feet into the ground, dig your heels in and go, look, we're not being beaten. We're not losing these points. Tom says 2 more defeats for Chelsea and Arsenal with 3 wins. We are going top 3. I mean, isn't that how football works? That if people lose their games, the other teams overtake them. I mean, I'm not sure what your point is there. I'm not quite sure what your point is there. That Chelsea have to lose 2 and Arsenal have to win 3. I'm not quite sure. Out of the last 4 games, Arsenal have got to win 3 and Chelsea have to lose 2. I'm not quite sure on your point there, Tom. But either way, it does cause problems for Chelsea, who, you know, Arsenal will be, if they win who they've got this weekend, they have Leeds tomorrow. Arsenal do. Arsenal have Leeds tomorrow. So, if they win that, which it probably looks like it will be, then Chelsea will be just the 1 point ahead of Arsenal, and Chelsea looking like they could potentially bottle it. The important thing is, though, for Chelsea is that they are still ahead. Whilst it feels, and it really does feel like 2 points lost, and it should feel like 2 points lost today, Chelsea still have got that extra point, so they aren't, by any stretch of the imagination, at the peril of Arsenal just yet. And of course, goal difference wise, if we do end up on the same points, that will also be something to take in mind. If we'll just go over onto Sofa's score, because I think it is important now to actually take a look at. Let me just leave that screen. just to take a look at this league table and look at some of the fixtures that are coming up, Arsenal have a North London derby in there. So whilst Real Tom says three more wins for Arsenal and they go above, you still do have a North London derby, which you are sometimes known to have lost. Oh, Watford had someone sent off as well. Did not even know that. Right, let's have a look at the table. I will swap screens in a second. Yeah, thank you for that one, Wiki. Thank you for that one. You're the only one who can rub it in as an Arsenal fan. Real Tom, some of your predictions, lad, have come to bite you on the backside, I tell you what. So I'd keep quiet for a little while, mate. I'd keep you quiet for a little while. But let's have a look. Here is the table. Let me just resize this because I resized it once again for the game. If I can grab it. No, I want to grab the outside one. There we are. There we are. Let's see. Right. Chelsea, what games do they have? I know they've got a game against Leeds coming up, which is in midweek. And then Chelsea also have, of course, the FA Cup final. And then let's have a look at the rest of the matches. Leicester and Watford. So Watford, you would think you'd be happy to say that you think you're going to get yourself some points. Watford, of course, relegated now, so nothing really to play for there. Chelsea will need to play for it. It's going to go down to the final game of the season, isn't it, for a third season in a row. Leicester City, that could be a hard one. Depends on which Leicester side turns up, though, which is an important thing. And of course, both Chelsea and Arsenal do have Leeds this week in particular, and Arsenal have Leeds tomorrow. They also have a North London derby, which Wiki says I'm not sure we'll win. I'm hoping we'll get a point. I think a point would be good for you, to be fair. And you've also got Newcastle, and on the up Newcastle, and an Everton side that are playing for their lives. So whilst it seems straightforward on paper, you've got two relegation candidates, Newcastle, who are playing out of their skin, and a North London derby. Whilst it might, you look at two of them games, particularly the ones against Leeds and Everton, you might particularly think, actually, Arsenal probably should pick up 4 wins here. It's not quite that straightforward. It is not quite that straightforward. Not quite that straightforward whatsoever. But it's going to make an interesting one in terms of a neutral perspective. If you try put your neutral hat on for a little while, as I'm going to try and do right now, it definitely does make it for an exciting end of the season. If we needed any more excitement in this season, considering the relegation battle's still firing, the battle for top 2 is still firing, and of course the battle in and around here for the final positions is still firing as well. So if we needed any more drama, we definitely don't need it now, and we've got it with Arsenal and potentially Tottenham as well still lurking around. But Tottenham could do Chelsea a massive favour if they win that North London derby. Could do a massive favour. But like I say, with the inconsistencies of those three sides in third to fifth, well, in third to 8th, anything could happen. Like you look at the form that these teams are in. Like, look at Wolves: win, loss, draw. West Ham: win, loss, draw, loss. United: win, loss, draw, win. Tottenham: win, loss, draw, win. Arsenal: loss, win. Chelsea: loss, win, draw, loss, draw. Like, it's all over the place. It really is all over the place at the moment. But it's all to play for. From a Chelsea perspective, though, really poor today, really poor. And these draws are what's going to come to bite us on the backside. As you can see, Arsenal won more games than us this season, which is why they are so close. Because Chelsea, yes, they've picked up another 7 points here, but that's useless. If you've not won the same amount of games. Pure Bomber says, unfortunate we didn't win after Lukaku dominated. He dominated. He got a bit of confidence in him. I'm quite surprised we took him off, to be honest with you. I don't know what I've just done there. I'm quite surprised we took him off, considering he had the wind in his sails. But it's just so frustrating. It really is so frustrating. Like, look at the possession stats, the total shots. We've had more shots on target, and like I can read all of these things out. Look at that, Chiquinho. How good was he when he came on? 2 assists. 2 assists for the young man, for the 22-year-old. Unbelievable. But it's all well and good having all these, these opportunities. But all that really matters, innit, is this score here. This is all that matters in the top left. 2-2. That's all that really matters. All that really matters. When did Saul even come on? I didn't even notice him come on. He came on at bloody half time, and I only realised in the 88th minute he came on. Number one, that is absolutely poor commentary from me, and I do apologise. But I didn't notice a man was on the field for literally until Trincao scored. I didn't notice he was on the field, and he was on the field for 30 minutes. Oh, send him back to Madrid. I don't want him anymore. Get him away. Just get him away, please. I beg. I beg of you. Just get him away. Get him away. I beg of you. I really, really beg of you. Right, guys. On that bombshell, I think we should leave it there. On that bombshell, I think we shall leave it there. Because I think that summed up the game, really. I didn't even realise he'd come on at half-time. Did not even realise it. Did not even realise it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I cannot... Didn't even see it. Did not even see it. I mean, we weren't about for the start of the half-time, were we? Because we were still doing the half-time game. So I guess it's a bit more. But the fact is, I only picked up that Saul was on in the 80th minute. Wow. Not a good loan for Saul. Not a good loan. Right, guys. I will actually leave you guys there. I am starving. I have a takeaway. Takeaway? I think so. I think we'll have a takeaway. Why not treat ourselves? Right, guys. I shall leave you there. I do hope you have enjoyed. Like I say, as always, if you have enjoyed and or you're a Chelsea fan and you want to stick around for some more Chelsea content, be sure to smash that like button. Do hit subscribe as well. I hope you have enjoyed, like I say, even if it has been very painful for me. Hopefully you can find some joy in my misery as, well, as I know, Wiki, I'm sure, is feeling right now, and Real Tom most certainly is, as he is always coming in on the wind-up. But I do, like I said, I do hope you have enjoyed. And if you can help me out and get towards that 700 goal, help me get towards that 700 goal. Sam, here's a good deal. If you get me to... If you get me what? 3, you order me a takeaway. Top 3, you order me a takeaway. No, there's no win-win in that. There's no win-win in that. There's no win for me there. What? That does not make sense. Right, Real Tom, I'm leaving you. Thanks, guys. Like I say, smash that like button, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. And most importantly, as always, stay safe. Cheers!